A warm welcome to 101. I'm sure that for many of us, this new world of lockdowns and social isolation has been very, very difficult. But something, it has forced us to reflect not only on personal priorities, but also in the way we at district level manage and how we do things. And today's event is the direct result of our rethinking on the way we present our programs. And it has been created due to adaptability to the new norm. We have moved on to having more programs virtually. And so it's really fortunate for all of us today that we are part of this initiative to provide you more information about Rotary and our programs and structure. Now, what is the main objective of today's event? I have an excellent training team, young, with innovative ideas. When I say young, who is excluded from the team, but never mind, the average age is still young. But the main objective of today's event is to invest in all of you knowledge. This will enable you to participate more in the decision-making process of your clubs and projects. We want you to be involved. We want you to be engaged. And we want to share this knowledge to make your journey as a Rotarian as enjoyable as possible. You need to enjoy Rotary, and you can leverage on this knowledge that you gain today to do good in the world and make that change. After all, it is you at club level that serve to change lives. I see a good numbers online, and hopefully the numbers don't dwindle as time passes on. It's going to be a long day, but I am assured that it's going to be a very exciting and informative day. Now, I wish all of you a very enjoyable and informative day today. And do take care. Do not take any risks. Stay home. Stay safe. Thank you. And I pass this back to the MC.
Thank you, District Governor. Thank you, DG Dato Bindi. As she said, it is you who serves to change lives. Now, once again, before we kick off our official program, I'd like to invite District Trainer Karthi Palanisamy to say a few words before we get the program on the way for today. Karthi, over to you.
Thank you, Ash. Thank you. The governor said it right? It's about is a challenge we have now with the current situation and the manner in which we have actually modulated this entire training. And I'm pretty happy, right? When you come to a training, you see familiar faces. You wonder why the same old guys are coming for training. But today I see a lot of people who I don't know, which is a good thing, because really this training is about engaging the newer Rotarians, engaging the younger Rotarians in trying to tell you, hopefully in the next 4 hours, what exactly Rotary is and what exactly we're trying to get the message across. I'm also excited that I see two interest clubs here, the Rotary E-Club of Kuala Lumpur and the Rotary Seremban Gateway here, so that's a good thing. I see a lot of unfamiliar faces, excellent, because this is what this session is all about. We've got 4 or 5, we've got I think 7 or 8 sessions here. They're all half-an-hour capsule sessions. We'll give you an umbrella view of certain things. It's not to try to tell you everything about Rotary. It's about to excite you about what Rotary is. We want this entire session to be engaging. We want you to ask us questions if you're unfamiliar with things. And we hope when we end the session today at 4 o'clock, you at least sort of understood why we serve to change lives. So with that, Ash, over to you, Ash. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, District Trainer Karthi Palanisamy. Now, we have 144 participants right now, coming in more, 145. What we like to do now, ladies and gentlemen, is do a little icebreaker quiz. I just want to see what is your knowledge of Rotary we want to do this on Kahoot. For those of you who are familiar with Kahoot, it's a very simple, attractive game that you can play online. Now, some of you are familiar with it where you need 2 devices. We made it simple. You only need 1 device. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen and tell you how to get involved with the Kahoot. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, all you need to do is on any device that you're on is just type in the word www.kahoot.it and it will show you to input a game pin. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, last time when we used to do this, you need 2 devices. Now you only need 1 device. Don't worry. The questions will appear on whatever device you're on, and you just need to answer this. Now, the reason we're doing this, it's not because we want to quiz you, not because we want to find out who knows more about Rotary, but because we need to have our district trainer send somebody a prize. All right, so we have 148 people on Zoom right now. Those of you who are unfamiliar, Kahoot gives you points. Now, if you got a name called Let's Go, Karthi cannot send you the bottle or the ketare or whatever prize you earn from this. So put in your real name. We'd like to see who scores the highest. That way we can, Karthi himself joined, so that's not fair. But we will discount him, don't worry about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, simple concept. Just go to whatever device you're on, type kahoot.it and put in this game pin here, 213-7906, or if you have the Kahoot app, you can also open that and type the same pin in. Okay, don't worry about having 2 devices like previously, ladies and gentlemen. We have made it so 1 device is fine. All right, we've got a lot of people coming in, more and more coming in. Join in, ladies and gentlemen, join in. It's nothing technical, it's more on just general knowledge. Some of the PDGs here may not know some of the answers to the questions as well, I guarantee you. That's why it'd be interesting. We've even got a Rotary Club, E-Club KL joined. 44, ladies and gentlemen, we have 151 people on Zoom. I'm looking for more people to join in the Kahoot. Come on. Now, the more people join, the bigger the prize that Karthi may give. I'm not guaranteeing it. I'm just screwing him up on his behalf. All right, let's get more people in. I'll give it another 1.5 minutes for everyone to join in. For those of you who may not be able to join, if you're having any troubles, don't worry. But please stay tuned and watch the quiz going on as well, because it's going to be interesting as well. $49, let's get to 55, ladies and gentlemen. Let's at least get to 55. All right, come on, we can do that. Just a while more till we start the actual quiz. Okay, we're almost there. Someone joined with my name as well. There's another Ashvin here. I'm sure he might win it. Okay, we've got to 57. In the interest of time and scheduling, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to start the quiz right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember, Kahoot quiz. The right answer as well as the fastest answer wins. All right. 20 questions. Here we go. What is Rotary International President Shekhar Mehta's theme? What is his theme for the year? Serve lives for a change, change to save lives, serve to change lives. lives changed by serving. His team is what? Now you got to answer correctly and you got to answer quickly. Oh, 38 got it right. 6 and 5 people got it wrong there. Let's see. Okay, Viv is leading right out of the gate. Daniel, RCAA. Second, Sash. Third. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, you have to answer quick and you have to answer correctly, yeah? Okay, second question. Who will be the first female Rotary International President? Jacqueline E. Jones, Jennifer E. Jones, Jamie E. Jones, Elizabeth E. Jones. First RI female president. Come on, point the answers quickly and correctly. All right, time's up with that. Oh, Elizabeth E. Jones, sorry, that's a tricky question. I put all the names almost similar. Yes, Jennifer E. Jones will be the first Rotary International President. She's a founder and the CEO of her own media company who's leaving it on the behalf to become Rotary International President next year after Sheikh Mehta. Yeah, all right. Scoreboard, Daniel, you have taken first place. Ladies and gentlemen, you have question 3 to still regain some points. How many members does District 3300 have as of July 1st, 2021? 1,795, 2,032, 2,450, or 2,178? All right. Wow. More people guessed higher than we actually have. As of July 1st, 2021, in the Rotary Club Central, if you look at my district, under District 3300, we have 2,032 members. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we need to get this up, and our good friend Rajj will talk to us later on about this. But good numbers. I'm glad a lot of you do know how many members we have. Space Jam 78. You have a very good winning streak. Viv is in first place among all the participants we have during the Zoom. Next question, ladies and gentlemen. District 3300 currently has how many Rotary clubs and how many satellite clubs? Do we know this? What is our number of Rotary clubs and satellite clubs currently? Point the answer, 7 seconds to answer, 5 seconds to go. How many Rotary clubs versus satellite clubs do we have? That's right, we do have 86 Rotary clubs and 6 satellite clubs. A lot of you know that answer. Great to know today. All right, leaderboards are changing very quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, next one. Which of the following statements is incorrect? Incorrect. Which one is a no-no? The first ever Rotary Club formed was the Rotary Club of Chicago. The Rotary Club of Chicago was chartered on the 23rd of February. The 4 founders of Rotary Club of Chicago was P. Harris, S. Shield, G. Lower, H. Story, and the charter president of RC Chicago was Paul Harris. Remember, we're looking for the incorrect answer. Incorrect answer. All right. That's right. That is the incorrect answer, ladies and gentlemen. It was Sylvester Steele who was the first president of the Rotary Club of Chicago. Whilst we heard a lot about Paul Harris and we thank him for all he's done, he was not, in fact, the first president. Okay. Moving on, question 6. Many to go to gain your points. Now, certain kinds of behavior are deemed as harassment. Which one of these do not fall under the category? Do not, yeah? Which one of these do not fall under the category of harassment? There are a lot of things that do. We're looking for the one that does not. 1 second ago. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of all these things do fall under the category of harassment, but disagreements over projects during club meetings will happen. It is not harassment, and we will talk about it later on about, certain conflicts that will happen. And it's good. It's good that it does happen because, diversity in arguments, diversity in thoughts leads to a lot more innovative solutions. So ladies and gentlemen, that is not harassment. We will read the leaderboard in 3 questions. Why was the name Rotary chosen? Come on, you have to get this one right. The wheel represents a circle of giving. On the adoption of what goes around comes around. The meetings initially rotated officers, or the founders first met on a shipdock. Why was Rotary chosen? All right, 57 answers are in. Wow, I like that. A lot of people thought the wheel represents a circle of giving, and Rotary does represent a circle of giving, but ladies and gentlemen, the name Rotary was chosen because initially when they met in the legal offices of Paul Harris, they decided that subsequent meetings were to be rotated in their offices. And that's why a lot of clubs also actually, before they had fixed meeting locations and offices, used to rotate restaurants and meeting locations. So this is why Rotary was chosen. Let's go to the next question. On question 10, we're going to read the leaderboard, right? How is the spouse of a male Rotarian referred to? A lady, an Anne, a Joanne, or married-in member? How do we refer to a spouse of a male Rotarian? 3 seconds to go. Okay. Well, I think some royalty refers to as ladies. I hope nobody refers to them as married-in members, but I think a lot of people are married-in members. Yes, the spouse of a male Rotarian is in fact an Anne. Now, if we know that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask the next question, which is, because we know that's an Anne, how did the term Rotary Anne come about? So we know the spouse is known as an Anne, but how did it come about? This would be an interesting one as well. Why do we refer to the spouse of a male Rotarian as Anne? How did it come about? All right, interesting to see that a lot of people think it's from the name of Rotary International first president's wife. I mean, we've got quite a diverse answer set here. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is from one of a Rotarian's wife who was a woman on board a train. In fact, they were going to a Rotary convention in San Francisco, I believe. And, and Anne was on board and she was the only woman on board. So they referred to her as Rotary's Anne. In fact, her name was Anne. And when they got to their location, there was another Anne there. And in fact, look this up. It's available on Rotary International site. There's a Rotary Anne chart. I'm surprised we don't do it anymore, but that's an amazing fact. Let's check the leaderboard. Pradeep is first. I don't know if this is the actual Gati or someone else has Gati, but in second. Hardy, you're third. Leo, in fourth place with a good answer streak. Yi Hui, in every quiz I've seen you score. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of questions get some points up there. Question 10. Which of the following is the first Rotary Club in Asia? Which of these open up the Rotary Clubs of Asia? Come on, all the answers coming in. Before time's up, most people got it already. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in fact, it was the Rotary Club of Manila in 1919. And in fact, if you go to Rotary International History Archives, you would find the article under How Rotary's History in Asia, or Philippines Opened the Doors to Asia. The Rotary Club of Manila in 1919 formed. The first club in District 3300 to officially receive its Rotary Charter is District 3300. I understand there is a technicality discussion around this as well. Yes, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Rotary Club of Seremban, but as many people claim that Rotary Club of Kuala Lumpur was supposed to get it first, but on a administrative difficulty, they got it next. But not to fear, this is one and two of the first clubs that we had in the district. In fact, officially certified, officially had their Rotary Charter, was in fact the Rotary Club of Seremban, ladies and gentlemen. Now, moving on, let's go. Question 12. The Rotary Club of Bangalore Central District launched a satellite club that is considered an important milestone. Why? Is it an only women's club, transgender club, members of foreigners, and members are all visually impaired? Why is it considered a milestone that they launched this satellite club? All right, a lot of you got it right. That's in fact correct. The Rotary Club of, the Rotary Bangalore Transgenders Club on July 28 was formed. And this marks a very important milestone for all Rotarians, and I think for globally, anyone fighting for the LGBTQ plus movement, because this club was built, I believe, on 10 transgender members. All right, and that was where it was formed. All right, Leo, past District Governor Leo, that's amazing streak that you had. Karthi, Pradip, Leo, QZ, Hardy leading the pack. Lot more questions to go, ladies and gentlemen. You've got question 13. Rotary was involved in the formation of which of these great organizations or leaderships or contingency? ASEAN, UNICEF, United Nations, UNESCO. Which one was Rotary involved in the formation of? Yes, that is in fact correct. A lot of people are marking UNICEF. Whilst we do have partnerships and a lot of programs with UNICEF, if you go back to Rotary History Archives, gentlemen, you will realize that, before the United Nations came, a big thing that Rotarians and Rotary International was one of the organizations that actually helped the popularization of the United Nations. And we actually are people involved with spreading the word on the United Nations cause and what they do. So Rotary was very much involved with the United Nations. Okay, question number 14. Besides service above self, what is the second Rotary motto approved? There is another one, as DJ Khalid will say, there is another motto that is actually approved. It's been changed 3 times, I believe. And in 2010, it was solidified as one of these statements. That's right. Actually, a lot of people, service best serves humanity. It is a good motto. But one profits most to serve best is the third variation of the second motto besides service above self that was actually approved by Rotary. It was found on a lot of the old badges. It's been changed 3 times, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good history to look into once again. That is actually the second motto that was approved by Rotary. Moving on, let's see the leaderboard. All right. I think, up 7 places. Sue is the highest climber. And I think a lot of you are scoring good points. Let's go into question 15, ladies and gentlemen. Almost there. The first Rotary Club certified was at University of Chicago, the University of North Carolina, Charlotte, Harvard University, University of Chicago, Booth. Where was the first Rotary Club certified? Remember, we're looking for the first one. All right, I think, yes, we have a good amount of you that got it correct. In fact, the very first Rotary Club was certified as the University of North Carolina in Charlotte. While Chicago has a lot of history in Rotary, it was not the University of Chicago. All right, moving on. The word road track comes from what? Where did we find the word road track? The Scottish word for youth, the blend of the words rotary in action, the word for a smaller version of the rotary wheel, or was it suggested by the first road track club president? Where did the word road track come from? A lot of, oh my God, look at that. Landslide of answers, got it right. Exactly, ladies and gentlemen. The word road track was in fact a blend of the words Rotary and action, which explains why they do so much good work today. All right. Now, few more questions to claim the championship. The first Interact Club was the Interact Club of Bangalore International, the Interact Club of Makati High, the Interact Club of Melbourne High, and the Interact Club of St. Francis Xavier, which was the first Interact Club. Interact. All right, I think most people thought Makati now. In fact, the first Interact Club was the Interact Club of Melbourne High School. This is not in Australia, it is the Melbourne High School of Florida. I thought strange myself, but US likes naming their states after everyone else. But it was the Interact Club of Melbourne High, Florida, that was the first Interact club. Karthi is leading the pack, Leo is in second, Mike in third, Hardy in fourth, and Terence Pudu climbed the board in fifth. Big Ben is making a comeback. Ladies and gentlemen, a few more questions before you claim the championship. The agreement that started Rotary International's first polio project was signed with who? The United Nations, the governments of the Philippines, the government of West Africa, or UNICEF. What was our first kick into the polio project? Very fast, the answers are coming in. Yes, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, actually, whilst most may think it was UNICEF, United Nations, and no doubt Rotary International does a lot of work with all these answers you're seeing and with organizations like the United Nations and UNICEF. But in fact, if you look back at the history, what really kicked off our agreement and started our polio project globally was the agreement that we signed with the government in the Philippines a long time ago. And I urge you, if you go to the Rotary International website, they have a very nice moving timeline that you can actually look at how Rotary has come to start with polio and how it's moved along very beautifully and the work we've actually done to eradicate polio. So looking at the leaderboard, the first five haven't changed, but I see a lot of people coming up. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Question number 19. Rotary International launched Polio Plus, the first and largest internationally coordinated polio effort in what year? In what year did Rotary International launch Polio Plus, which is actually, aside from first and largest, the first private sector coordinated movement in polio? In what year did we do this? Okay, yes, it was in fact in the year 1985, ladies and gentlemen. That was the year Polio Plus was launched. Okay, so two more questions to gain your leadership. In 2011, Rotary's public awareness campaign to end polio, which included celebrities, was called what? Almost There, This Close, Together We Can, 99%. What was that campaign called? What was it called? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it was called This Close because we are this close to ending polio. Celebrities include our co-sponsors in the polios, Bill Gates, John Cena, but nobody could see him, Sai, Jackie Chan, Manny Pacquiao, Jack Knuckles, who was a golf champion, but it was called This Close, in fact. Together We Can is a good slogan, but that campaign was called This Close. Last question before we crown the champion. The next question is going to be a puzzle, ladies and gentlemen. If you're using your laptop, you've got to point to the right of your answer and realign things. If you're using your phone, just press on the answer you want and you can slide your answer up and down, because what you've got to do is you've got to align the RI presidents from the Rotary year 2018 to today. So from the oldest in 2018 to today, how will you align these guys? You've got Shekhar Mehta, Barry Ressin, Holganak, Mark Maloney, realigning them from 2018, who was RI president, to today, who is RI president. And I hope the last one, you all get it right. Last question to become champions of today's quiz, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we have that. Okay, the correct order is what? Barry Ressin, Mark Daniel Maloney, Holganak, and then Shekhar Mehta, of course. Now we have to crown a champion of history's built. Today's questionnaires, Mike falling in third place, 16 out of 21. Correct. Karthi, who's our champion for today? Let's shine the spotlight. Leo, with runners-up Hardy and Terence falling next, but Leo, you are in fact our champions for today. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for participating in our little icebreaker, little quiz. I hope that gives you some insight into Rotary's history, a little bit more knowledge, and maybe an urge to build your knowledge in Rotary itself, because it is an interesting history. Now, for our very first session of Build 101, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of sayings, from nothing to something, from nil to mill, from where we were to where we are. And you know, these sayings have all one thing in common. They all started from the basics, which is why I would like to invite, for the first topic of today, which is called Building the Basics on Club Administration, I would like to invite my brother, past President Iswaran Shanmugam from the Rotary Club of Seremban, to take this session on. Warren, over to you.
Thank you very much, Brother Ash. IPDG Leo, congrats, yeah, kongsi. Can you all hear me? Thumbs up will do.
Yes, we can.
All right, good. Hello, everyone. Hello, kawan-kawan. Thank you so much. A very good Saturday morning. Selamat pagi. Tajia hao. Chosan. And kali vanakkam ellarkum. Sastriyakal to all, yeah. As how DG Bindi said, we are the young, an excellent training team, I must say, yeah. Okay, so as you all know, yeah, early in the morning, you all had the quiz. And then all your minda terbangun. Now you are all alert, I hope so. But it was fun. Ash did a very fantastic job. A lot of stuff that you all do not know, now you know. So thank you so much, Ash, for that. So now what we will be talking about is club admin, building the basics. Ladies and gentlemen, you know my name, Warren Shanmugam, and I want to, before we start, do something here. I want to know how you guys feel. It's Saturday morning, but how do you guys really feel? So can you all in the chat box just quickly write down, how do you all feel today? How do you feel? One word. Don't write karangan, yeah. Don't write essays. Just one word. How do you feel? Come on. Kohan says excellent. Tana says great. Daniel says wow. Oh, okay. There you go. Lots of great, wonderful, excited, good, superb, awesome, energetic, fun, good, chill, fantastic. Come on, guys. Yeah, hungry. Yes, of course. Killer mode. I like that. Exuberant. Yes. Magnificent. Engaging. Cool. Curious. Yes. Energetic after an hour of yoga. Yes, definitely mind yoga. Yeah. But of course, if you really did that yoga thing, good for you. And yes, beautiful, great. So many messages. Very nice. Now, let me ask you this. Do you like my jawline beard? Can you all see my jawline beard? Can you all see?
No, it blends with the background, so I can't see.
Gosh. But you guys, I want you all to do this. Now, I want you all to go to the video. You know, the video icon right at the bottom left corner of your Zoom. And then it's not a drop down, but rather, what do you say? Drop up menu. So click on that and then go to choose video filters. Can you do that? Go to choose video filters and then choose a border. See, like myself, I've got a rainbow border. You can change it to smiley. You can change it to, a theater like. Choose your border. Can you all choose your borders? I see Kuhan already got Christmas coming early or Deepavali coming early, yeah? Okay, and then you can change your glasses. Can you see, Karthi, can you do this? This will be very suitable for you. There you go. All right, you can change that. And then you can have a ribbon for the ladies if you all want to. You can have a small stuff up there. You can change your crown. You can become a pig if you want to. And then Karthi's favorite, there you go. He has got a cap in his picture always. You can graduate. Now choose whatever that you want. Choose whatever that you want. You can have a 3D glasses there. Okay, so once you change, make sure you keep there. Now, if you go to Studio Effects, right? You go to Studio Effects, you can actually change your, let me do this. You can actually change your, there you go. Okay, so if you go to Studio Effects, you can actually change your eyebrow, like how I have now. You can change your mustache and beard. There you go. Lovely fellas. And then you can change your lip color. And then make it as bright as possible. There you go. Now this is me. Okay. Now, Mr. Or rather, host, Zoom host, could you pin some of us here so that we can see some different faces? See whether, there you go, Tila, nice ribbon. Benjamin, Pirate of the Caribbean. Who else do we have here? Who else do we have here? There you go. IPT Gilio, you are cool. Anyone? Oh, that's a beautiful flower lily. That's nice. Glory has got the same ribbon as Tila. Very nice. I want to see Karthi. Is Karthi having? Oh, Angeline, beautiful flower. That beautiful small little flower.
Karthi is missing.
Karthi is missing, Yeah. I mean, he's a little bit shy, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, cool, isn't it? Now, these are the some of the things that you can actually do in this Zoom platform. Yeah. Of course, we always change background because we want to be in the universe, or you want to be in a paradise, or you want to be beside the sea and whatnot. But then you can do all these things and create some fun in your meetings. Now, let me just go back to meeting itself. And thank you so much, Zoom host here, for pinning. Club fails without a good club admin. Now, do you all agree to this? Club fails without a good club admin. Now, I was the president for 2018-2019. Back then, our past district governor, Bhaskaran, was my district governor. A fantastic year we had. During that time also, I had my club secretary, and she was fantastic lady. And I could not ask for more because she really managed the club well and was very helpful for me. But my club admin became incapable. So when that happened, right, I had to take over. It was, I should say, so much fun. Tedious, yes. Overwhelming, yes, but so much of fun. Now, there were plenty of other matters on your plate, yeah, I must say, but these are essentials. Now, club admins must have a couple of things. Let me give you. 1, organization skills. 2, communication skills. 3, writing skills. 4, designing skills. 5, publishing experience. And 6, computer and internet skills. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if I were to tell you that those are the skills that you need to become a club admin, I think the club can tap out, can bungkus. You can just pack up and leave. Those are not the skills that you need. Let me tell you from the many experience that I have had in two lovely clubs, Rotary Club of Pudu and Rotary Club of Seremban, this is the one-liner that I would give you. Pay attention to details. Pay attention to details. Now, of course, for some of us, it's a walk in the park here, but I must say this. If you keep doing it frequently, it will be soon. Three areas that I want to speak about. Three areas, yeah. One is impressive meetings.
How are you?
Who is that asking
Hello,
me? How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Hello.
Can
Hello?
we mute that person? Okay. Now, thanks for asking. How are you? I'm fine. Yeah. So one is impressive meetings. Impressive meetings. Remember, impressive meetings. Two, connect members. Connect members. Can you all see? Connect members. And three, keep informed. Keep informed. Now, the three areas: impressive meetings, connect members, and also keep informed. Now, how do you create an impressive meeting? You must remember this, yeah, for those who will be taking on club admin, that you must prepare the meeting 1 month before. And this is what I have been doing. Remember, guys, whatever that I am going to share with you, it is tested and proven, because when I did it, it was awesome. Everybody loved it. And I'm sure your people will be loving it also. So 1 month before the meeting, you must make sure that you complete all the planning. Now, remember, if possible, try to go with the Rotary theme. And you can get the Rotary theme from the Rotary website and also district website. Yeah. So ensure the room is ready for the meeting. Now, this is very important. Yeah. Ensuring that the meeting room is ready. I still remember walking into our meeting room in Royal Bintang, Seremban, 1 hour before the actual meeting. 1 hour before the actual meeting and before other members actually walk in. Why? Because I want to make sure that it is impressive. Remember, one impressive meeting, and that's what I always wanted to have. Now, can I have all of you to write in the chat, yeah, as to what you really need to prepare before a club meeting? Can you, whether it's a physical one or a virtual one, please use your chat box and write down, what do you really need to prepare before a club meeting? Come, write down. Agenda, yes. Program, Tani Malay says, yes. Detailed agenda, members. Good. Fun, yes. Visual, yes. Prepare the place, fantastic, you are so right. Speaking points, yes, you are so right. Itinerary, yes. Speech, yes. Info, your presence, of course, very much rightfully said, yeah, Sibudu. Yes, good speakers, fantastic. Invite visitors, you are so right. Attendance confirmation. Confirm the venue and whiskey, Captain Muru says, yeah, that comes anyways, yeah. Okay, so now let me give you a couple of details, a couple of things that you really need. Now, if it is a physical meeting, remember, I'm going to share with you both physical and also virtual. Why? Because we are not going to be in this virtual mode all the time. Yeah, there is a tendency for us to go to the physical. Now, physical means in no particular order, a couple of things that you really need. The most important is, of course, speaker. You need to have a speaker. Now, having a speaker alone is like easy, right? You get a speaker, fine. No, that's not how it works. You need to make sure that you get the information of the speaker. Why? Because you need to have someone to introduce the speaker. So the information must be precise. Now, there are times I see that they, the moment you ask information from the speakers, they give you the whole CV. And that's it. Guess what? Those guys who are introducing, they will read the whole CV. No, that's not what we want here. What we want here is just to introduce the speaker. Just 3-liner. What is the name? What does he do? What is the significance of him being here today? That's about it. And of course, the topic everybody knows, you speak about the topic. That's it. Don't read the CV. And also, remember to get the name right. The name is very essential. I still see some of them pronounce the name wrongly. What I do is, first, I will send an invite, a letter, invitation letter. I don't know if anybody does that still. An invitation letter to the speakers. I learned this from Rotary Club of Pudu. Yeah, send an invitation letter. Write down the details, write down what are the things that you need to prepare. If there is a slide, please let us know. Please bring in a thumb drive together and also send us a copy just in case anything goes wrong. So all this information done. And at the side, you have got all the board of members, board of directors, and also the president's name. So that when they come there, it's easy for them to mention names. So all these are ready. Once you send it to them, when they receive it, then it is nice. Why? Because they know the details. Make sure that they come 45 minutes before, make sure 15 minutes before the presentation is ready. Every single details must be there. Once I've done that, I will make sure that I'll make a call. Why? Because I want to get their name right. You may say that J-O-S-E is Jose, but for them it is Jose. You won't know. J-E-A-N is John or Jean. You don't know. So it's best that you call. Make sure you pronounce their name properly. That's very important. Then the slides, your slides, or rather their slides, must be together with your slides. How do you do that? You must make sure that there is a flow to it. Don't you close, you open another one, you close another one. There are so many ways to actually merge together. If you don't know, get help. If you can't get help from your own club, get help from the many clubs that we have got. We have got the physical club, we have got also the e-clubs, we have got the Rotaractors now with us. So get the idea of how do you merge two files together. That means you have got your flow of agenda together with their meeting, their slides, presentation slides. And if you have got the video, you can embed the video also. All these things are very easy if you know how. So ask and you shall receive. So slides, make sure it's there. Then the food preference. I always ask them this. Food preference. Are they vegetarian? Are they vegan? Do they eat meat? Any allergy? All that is very important. So these are for speakers. Can you see? Speakers alone is not important. What are the details? Remember, I said pay attention to details. These are the details. If any one of those goes wrong, then you will have a mishap. And then what you call Murphy's Law. So remember, Murphy's Law can happen, but you can also take care of it. How not to have something, a blunder, a mishap. So next is gifts. Now, if you have a speaker, physical meeting, you must have gifts. When I say you must have, it is nice to have. Not necessarily expensive one. You can always have a card. I remember some clubs, they have got a card, a standard card where they have printed. Sometimes they print with the printer or a card that is already pre-printed. What they do is before the speaker comes, or rather during the meeting, they will just pass around the card, let everybody sign. And then when the time comes for a thanking session, give the card to the speaker. Done deal. And if, of course, if you have got induction, then you must make sure that the induction kit is ready. Now, if you have got special occasion, if there's a birthday or an anniversary, you want to have cakes, have cakes. If you don't want, it doesn't matter, but be creative, make it impressive. That's the whole idea. Now, if you have got a physical meeting, you need to have food. Make sure the food is available. Some clubs, they don't have food. It doesn't matter. But if you have got food, make sure the food is available and it is ready. And also table arrangement. According to the meeting style, if it is a club assembly, it is done differently. If it is a club meeting, normal standard club meeting, it is done differently. So you need to make sure that everything is in order. Then when you have got the club, you must have the placards there. You must make sure that the president's placard is there. Then the numbering, if there is, then the president must have the bell and the gavel. Bell and the gavel. And then SAA, the sergeant at arms, he needs to have his sash. And then also glass water. Remember, some people have got glass bottles. Some people will have glass. It doesn't matter. Make sure that you have got a glass of water for when you do the toast. And of course, you have got some clubs have got the flags. Now, when you have got the flag, make sure that you have got the base also, speaker's podium, rostrum, or whatever you call it. Make sure all these are ready. Then you go to the AV, laptop and projector. It is very important. Now, having laptop and projector is not the only thing that matter. Yeah, you need to make sure that you test the projector and the laptop, upload all the files that you need. Volume must be checked, cables, projector screen, extension cord, and all that stuff are very important. And also registration. Make sure that the registration table is ready. The name list is all there. You have got a pen for them to write. Don't just have the name list. You expect them to bring their own pen. Name card must be there. And then if you have got a sunshine box, or a fine box, make sure it's ready. And also the guest list, make sure that the guest list is ready and pass it to the Sergeant at Arms and also the President, the two people that is who needs to really know who is attending, who are there in the meeting. So these are all when you have a physical meeting. What do you need for a virtual meeting? Obviously, you need to have the link. You need to share the link to everyone. That is very important. Yeah, and also inform the platform, whether you are using the Google Meet or you're using the Zoom. Make sure you inform them. And also make sure when you have got the Zoom, one host, two co-hosts. One host, two co-hosts. Why? Because at any point of time, anything can happen. So it's best that you have got people all ready. And get all of them to change their names and manage the mute. Also, if you have got a speaker, remember the name is important, but there is no food preference needed. Virtual gifts, if you can. Now, you can actually do some simple, fun virtual gifts. You know, you can actually, once everything is done, you say, okay, let's do a thank you session to our speaker and have everybody to write down or scribble or paint or print something and then show like this, make the whole Zoom screen available where you have all the members there, take a snapshot and then send it to the guest, and the guest will appreciate something creative, something fun, something exciting. You can do a lot more, and virtual is so easy, yeah, but again, details are very, very important. So those are for the meetings. Now, I have got this thing where national anthem is concerned. There are some meetings where they play national anthem. Now, you need to be very mindful. Some stand up, but remember, standing up, if you do not have proper lower garment, then it is an issue. So how do you want to make this worthwhile? If you ask me, if you really want to have a national anthem played during your meeting, have your right hand on left chest, or rather near close to your heart. And this will be the best gesture. That means when the song is played, you pay your respect. Make sure you are respectful. Don't at that moment of time you're drinking water, like how we will stand still, right? When the national anthem is played. Likewise, be mindful. If you really can't do anything, just go off screen. I would advise you just off your video so that nobody is disturbed. But make sure if you want to play it, be mindful. I won't say you cannot play, should not play. It's your club's choice, but then do it well. And of course, AV for Zoom or Google Meet or Microsoft Teams, make sure you test the volume, test the platform, everything beforehand. And registration, you can of course use the WhatsApp to collect the list of attendees, the members, the spouse, the visitors, the guests. And also no need to write who is not coming. Just write who is coming and then that will be fine. If you have got fine session, you can use the TRF coin box that Siti has been giving away to everyone. So use that coin box. If you have got some fine session, ask them to put the money into the coin box, and that will be something that is useful. Again, guest list must go back to the Sergeant at Arms and the President. So that's for the meeting itself. Impressive meeting. Now we go to the next one. Connect your members. Ash, can I know how much time do I have?
You got 4 minutes.
Okay, good. So connect your members. How do you connect the members? Very important. During my time, when we had a club assembly, maybe on a physical mode, right? What I do is club assembly, you have got the meeting first and then the club assembly. So during the meeting, we have got the guests, we have got spouses coming. But during the club assembly, what we do is the spouse, some will ask them to go back. But what we did is, I asked a makeup artist to come and then show how to do grooming, makeup for the ladies. For the guys, I bought some darts and then let them play. So those are do recording or do some recording, please advise. So those are the things that you can do. So PDG Leo is asking, Warren, is it advisable to do recording or do not have recording? Now, meeting is something that you can cherish if you want to, or if you don't want, you can just don't record. There is no right or wrong answer, IPDG, because if you record, so some of them do this, they record so that they can use this for the next round. If let's say a member were to say something, then they will use it for not so nice reasons. But some of them, they will record this because if let's say some members cannot attend, they will send this meeting so that they can watch it and they too can have fun. I leave it to the club's discretion. How do you want to do this? If your intention is right, that means you want to record this and then you want to send it to those who did not come so that they too are well informed, fantastic. But if it is not, if you want to use it for something else, or if you want to keep for remembrance, keep it. No right or wrong answers to this. You guys decide, but both are all good. I hope that answers IPDG. Okay, so remember, connect your members at all times. Like how I said, how do you want to connect your members? You can have makeup sessions. You can also do your fellowship thing, even though you have got your fellowship director or chairperson in your club. How do you do it? Like sometimes what I do is I play movie in between the meeting or inspiring clips instead of a speaker. Then of course, fellowship is, you can have many other fellowship, but during the meeting, how do you connect the members? That's very important. Like what I did just now. Changing the lipstick and the eyebrow and the hat, those are another way that you can really have fun. Create more fun. You can have karaoke time during your meeting also, or have a session for fellowship where you can have karaoke session the whole meeting through. Jokes day, probably ask everyone to bring 1 or 2 jokes so that they can become they can create joke for the day. Or riddle day, charade, you can even play. Do you know that in the chat group, sorry, hi Leo, is not IPDG. Oh, sorry, Leo, yeah. Hi Leo, it is not IPDG. Someone wrote there, not IPDG, yeah. So sorry. Again, for charade, you can play charade. How do you play charade? If you can see in the chat group, you can send message to everyone, or you can send message to one particular person. So you can send a message to one particular person and then say the theme is, for instance, movies. And then you send the word King Kong there, and you ask that person to do the charade. And if you were to do this, then everybody can answer it's King Kong or something of the sort. Create fun, have a theme, have loads of fun. And of course, the last one is keep informed. This is very important. Yeah, you have got newsletters. Gone are the days, yeah, where we have got newsletters. I remember in the RC Pudu, Ash, just give me another 3 minutes if I can. Thank you. So, like RC Pudu, that's where I became an editor as a newsletter for newsletter for their bulletin. Fantastic job. Why? Because you have to create that. I used to be like working wee hours, you know, like 2-3 a.m. just to make sure that the next day the bulletin is ready on each table. That was fun. But now you don't have to do that. Now there are some clubs who actually do multiple pages. You don't need to do that. Have one pager. Have a smart one-page newsletter. What you can do is you can have one president's message or editor's message, and I mean or. Second, happenings, the past or the future. And the third one, photo gallery. Now, if you have got 3 in one page, send it out in the Google group mail, send it in the post-it in the Facebook, show everyone. It'll be fantastic. And also tag all your activities in your Facebook. That is very important. Now, birthdays, do not forget birthdays. If you forget wedding anniversaries, doesn't matter, but birthdays of your members, you, club admin, this is your role. You need to make sure that you're the first person to send the message. I remember, 12 o'clock a.m., I will send a birthday wish to all my members. Why? It is fun when you receive your a birthday message from someone. It is very nice, very interesting. And that's what we are there for as a club member. Join together and make sure you send that birthday wishes. And last, very important note, WhatsApp messages, WhatsApp group, make sure you use wisely. If I can, I will advise you 2 things. 1 is notice group, 2 is fun group. In the notice group, make sure it's only formal messages, only admin mode. That means no one can send message. Only the president, secretary, treasurer, and club admin, you guys. Only 4 of you all are admin, only 4 of you all can send messages, because or else you will have clutter. So president message, you can send. Secretary meeting minutes, you can send. Treasurer due dates, information and accounts details, you can send. And meeting info link, club admin can send. Also the speakers info. Just the 4 of y'all as admin, and no one else can add or enter anything. This is the best, so that you won't have clutter and you will have all the information available ready. For the fun group, you can use it for everything and anything. Have fun, put quizzes, put pictures and whatnot. So guys, I hope all these things are helpful for you. 1, impressive meeting. 2, connect members. And 3, keep informed. Now, I have got KK Louis saying the newest version of Zoom now allows download additional apps. Yes, you are so right. Now with the Zoom, just latest release, you have got apps. In these apps, right, under the Zoom, you can actually put whiteboard, you can put games, you can have fun, you can do a lot of things. So there are many things coming, so have fun. These are some of the areas that I want to cover today. Of course, there are many more other stuff you need to do, but get your basics right. Get your basics right. Do this and have fun, club admins. All the best. Over to you, Ash.
Thank you very much, Warren. I think that was an impressive sharing and how you summarize club admin in 3 basic points. That is amazing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the next session is more crucial than anything else. And it's presented by probably the best guy in the topic to talk about it, right? So if you remember, in the movie Field of Dreams, Kevin Costner said, if you build it, they will come. And this man knocks membership out of the park. So ladies and gentlemen, for the next session, if you build it, they will come on membership. I'd like to invite my brother, PAG, Rajj Melambaran from the Rotary Club of Subang. Raj, over to you.
Woo!
Raj, you're still muted.
Someone muted me now. All right, thank you guys. Thank you, Ash. And before I start, Ash and Karthi, if you can help me to spotlight the panelists later. Yeah, later, not now.
Okay.
Let them look at my face first. The panelists can come later. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. And you can read it. The topic is, if you build it, they will come. All right. So it speaks for itself. So we're going to talk about how we can build our club to be strong, attractive, pretty, so that people from outside, when they look at it, they want to come in. They want to knock on your door and ask you, what is this? What is Rotary? I want to join you. All right, that's what we want to build. And not only for them, we also want to build our club to be attractive, to be satisfying for our own members too. Because we have to get our house in order first before we even want to be attractive to the public, right? So talking about our members, our district goal for this year is to achieve 100% members engagement, right? Members engagement is very, very important because they are the pillars, the foundation of the club. And each one of us join Rotary for a reason. And if we can fulfill that reason or come near to that reason, if we achieve that goal, that's when we are happy. Happy members makes happy club. Happy club does more projects. When you do more projects, The public will look at you, they come and join you. See, everything is interrelated. All right. So today, I'm not going to flash 20 slides and videos and going to talk to you. All right. We have invited two representatives from the club. They have one is the advisor and one is who started the club, and they have built the club in a very different way, and they do things differently than most of the clubs. So they are just going to come and share. So you take what fits for your club, and you can do what fits for your club. All right. There's no one size that will fit all shoes, right? All feet. So we have to see what fits for our club. We have to look at our members' interests. We have to look at our practice, our habit, our culture. Then we have to build around it. So there's 4 points we're going to talk about today before I invite the panelists. We're going to talk about club experience, right? Warren spoke about how meetings can be to make the club attractive. That's very important. So club meetings comes under club experience, and also focused costs. What is your club doing? You know, we joined Rotary to give back to the community. We want to do projects. So yes, we are doing a lot of projects, but do we have a focused cost so that when we go out there and tell a story about our club, will people understand? Will the public understand? Or are we going to talk about 20 courses that we do and confuse them? It's always good to have one focus, and you can have other ad hoc projects too. And attraction. How attractive is our club? What is your attraction? What is your magnet that keeps the members together, keeps the members happy? You know, they always look forward for your meeting. Your attendance is more than 80%. When you have a project, the attendance is more than 80%. When you are discussing, everyone is giving input. No one is quiet. They don't give you that blue tick. You know what's a blue tick, right? Yeah, they read and they'll, you know, what, don't know, right? So they participate. Participation and contribution, that makes engagement, right? So you have to be attractive for them to come forward. You know, members, they spend time, they spend money, they spend efforts, they spend their thoughts. So if you want to do that, you got to be, there should be a value. What's in it for them to come and contribute and participate? That's what the club need to offer. And finally, interest base. As I mentioned earlier, what's the interest of the members? How do you get to know their interests? How do you fulfill to their interests? Of course, you can't please everyone, but I'm sure a club can come to a collective decision on interest. So these are the 4 points we're going to talk about today. So please allow me to invite Charter President Chua Keng Soon from Rotary Club of Raman Putra and Past Assistant Governor Danny from Rotary Club of Sitiawan.
Hi.
Hello.
Hang on, let me put on.
Both are unmuted already.
All right, they're unmuted, right? All right, okay, so they're here. Danny, I can't see you, Danny. Are you spotlighted?
Yeah, I'm here.
Sorry, Ash, can you add spotlight to them? All right, now cool. No. Add spotlight both myself and Danny, because only Soon is spotlighted. All right, so while that's been done, so we'll start with the senior. So Charter President Chua Keng Soon, he initiated, and I don't want to use the word started, initiated Rotary Club of Raman Putra. And if you look at Rotary Club of Raman Putra, they are very unique because they are a cost-based club. All right, so I let CP Chua to give a very short overview about your club. Introduction. Very short, Soon, because you have to say a lot of other things later.
Very short. Okay. Well, we got a lot of people interested in sports and badminton, and 70% of them, and another 20-30%, they wanted to support the sport. So we got together and we formed the club. And in that course, I rope in all because I'm a very avid fan of badminton. I'm also still playing badminton. I got in all the ex-national players, like Fu Kok Keong and Ong Yi Hock to start with. From that, and then we got in an ex-state basketball player and ex-Wushu champion. He's also an official world referee. So that's how we started. And together with like the 30% of the members who are, the admin people, the people who don't really go to badminton, but they like to watch badminton. So we have a balance. That's how we started.
So you have the audience and the players there.
Yeah.
Right? So Rotary Club Ramaputra is not just a badminton club, right?
Nope.
They are a sports
Yes.
base.
But
Right?
for
Can I
now-
say that? Yeah, sports, not just badminton. Yeah. So if they started off with badminton, now
Yeah.
slowly they're going to have they have a basketball players now.
We also have an
So what projects do you do out of the sportsmen that you have in the club and the sports enthusiasts you have?
Yeah, even before I started the club, we were doing with Rotary Kase, going out to schools that are underprivileged pupils. You know, we started to talent spot them, and then we give them equipments, give them a chance to play badminton. So when we see the people who has got potential, you know, some are really, you know, you can have 5 people and 5 of them pick up a racket. One can play, you know, never miss a shot. The rest could miss a shot. We're talking about all these little kids, yeah, 7, 8, primary school kids. So from those that we see, hey, this guy is quite talented, so we pick them up and we train them. Unfortunately, for the whole of last year and this year until now, our program has been stalled. But we have managed to pick up 3 fantastic players, and then we have trained them. They're still under training now, enclosed environment, because we got a permission. Just like the national players, you know, they need to train to go for competitions.
All right, thank
So
you,
it's
thank
been-
you, Chua. So when you look at these 4 points, right? The interest base, they are sports, right? The interest is sports,
Yeah.
and the projects, the cost, their cost is they are transforming students' life through sports. If I want to put it in one line, right? He also have a code. You know, you want to tell your code, the racket parang code. Yeah.
Actually, we are concentrating on all the B40, the very poor students, yeah, who cannot even afford a meal. So through the Rotary Kase's program of food bursary, we have a good range of information, the data of all these students. So these students, you know, some of them, they will drop out from school, they can go wayward, you know, stuff like that. So I used to joke with the people who support us. I say, hopefully that little children won't grow up and hold a parang and hold a badminton racket, so that, you know, he gets a career, or perhaps even be a star can be born. So this is what we are doing.
True.
Life
Well done.
transformation.
Well done. So let's move to Danny. Danny, the past assistant governor from Rotary Club of Sitiawan, and he is the initiator and the new club advisor for Rotary Satellite Club of Sitiawan Manjung Youth. Right. So Danny, can you give us a short intro about this club? How did the idea come up with to initiate this club? Very quickly, very short.
Okay, morning. The idea to initiate this club is to increase the membership of Rotary Club of Sitiawan. But bringing younger Rotarian into the club, I think not many accept. So luckily we have the satellite club concept. So we initiate the club under the advice of IPDG KSTO and his support. So this club set up because of my cycling group. When I cycle, I only know that Sitiawan actually have many below age 40 people here, that they are professionals and they are in the management company, that they are doing quite well as well. So I tell them the idea of Rotary. But this thing happened is all because one guy come and share with us JCI. We want to do JCI Sitiawan, but it cannot do for some reason. That's why I share them. I'm actually a Rotarian and our club is 60-year-old. Then we wanted to increase more members by setting up the satellite club, and the members agree that because during cycling we do a lot of fellowship. Then I tell them the Rotary spirit. Rotary set up because of fellowship, then we do project to help the community. So that is what. So before that, when we set up the club, under my few years of experience in the district, I learned something that a club setup, we need to have a focus project. So I tell them that our club focus project will be blood donation drive. So if we sell the idea, bring in new members, we'll tell them our main project is blood donation. And we have worked together with Manjong Hospital, the blood donation, like Aeon, So we have good connection there that we'll do blood donation 4 times a year.
All right.
So that is that.
So let me stop you for a while, Danny. So these satellite clubs, correct me if I'm wrong, the interest is cycling. They're all cycling enthusiasts, right? And the intention was to bring young members to Rotary Club of Sitiawan, and you couldn't break the the wall, the senior wall, right? Or maybe the group didn't fit in. So that's why you set up a satellite club, right? So satellite club, as we always mention, it offers a different platform. It's like a transitional method to bring the group to Rotary. Right. So the interest is cycling, and your focus project is blood donation. Right. But I also see another focus focus for the club is to gather the youth, the young ones. Right. So also a youth development program there. Right. Okay, so we have a young club, which is satellite club of Manjong Youth, and then we have a, can I say senior soon? CP soon? Don't get offended, Senior, senior club. All right. So we have 2 different. All right, never mind. Okay.
Senior, they don't record.
Okay, let's go to club experience now. All right, because engagement starts there first for members, right? Then we go to project again. It starts there. Because even our house, why do we keep our residents, clean or whatever we want, the fittings? Because when we walk in, we want to feel happy. We want to stay there. We want to stay home. We don't want to go out. So similarly for a Rotary Club, we want to set up an environment where the members are very comfortable, feel at home, they feel engaged, retention is met, and then they bring their friends. They're very proud to introduce their club to their members. That's when we can each one bring one, right? So soon, how is your club experience? Is it different from the traditional clubs?
The word Rotary, how did it come about? I just learned just now, right? It's about.
Are you there, Soon?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Sorry, something wrong.
Your backdrop changed. That's okay.
The Rotary word comes about because you're Rotary officers. So what we do is that we have our meetings in a badminton court. It's easier to get people to go to a badminton court than to go to the fixed environment, put on the court, So we will have a session of badminton court over 2 courts and 2 hours. We get 20 members, then we contribute, we build a fund, then we have fellowship. After that, we all sit down, we sweat and all, and we have our club meetings. Unfortunately, we're not able to do that the last how many months already? 500 days. So this is how we do our meetings. Then we will have it. Then how we invite new members. Do you want to play badminton with Phu Kok Kiong? This is a chance to play badminton with Phu Kok Kiong. We can arrange that. So people will come. They find interest in it. So what is this club about? Playing badminton? No, because we are transforming lives of the young pupils. So if you don't play, you have some money, please support our projects. So that's how we go about it. So the experience with them is that while Rotary is just not only in the office, in a closed environment with a bell and a maze and stuff like that, you can gather at the badminton court, So even like satellite clubs, they gather everywhere, right? I'm sure there's the same experience that our experience in our club is we give people a chance to to be undressed, so to speak.
You don't want them to take it differently, So let me rephrase that, but not the undress part. But your club is not reinventing or going away from the Rotary practice, right? So audience, please don't get it wrong, all right? They're just offering another alternate club experience that the members like. All right, so let me say something that he didn't. 4 meetings in a month. One of the meeting, they will have it in a venue, right? In a venue with jacket, tie, pants, a formal meeting. And the rest of the 3 meetings, it's more casual because their cause is more badminton. So they get together, they play, it's a badminton fellowship, or they go to a community and they do talent scouting and they play badminton with the kids. And before or after the game, they'll have the meeting. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, I have to add that we actually have a proper Rotary office where we keep our staff and where we go for our AGMs, our meetings, our DG visits and stuff like that. So we do have a proper office in Ramamputra. I see some of the questions.
So why we are talking about this? So clubs, the newer clubs, right? If you are thinking, we don't set the rule how you must build that club experience, right? There are certain rules and policies. As long as you don't go against it or away the Rotary way, Rotary practice, then we are fine with you having a different club experience. Offer a different experience for the members. There are members who don't like too much of protocols or bureaucracy. They want less bureaucracy. So we can change a bit our format. Even RI suggests we can change our format, especially with this current pandemic, when there's a new norm and we can't do a lot of things we used to do. There's no harm in tweaking a bit. See, tweaking, yeah, not changing. We are not changing anything of Rotary. We are still following the Rotary. All right, let's listen to Danny. Danny, how's the Satellite Club experience?
The club experience, when we start out, our first discussion is during our cycling. So we meet at our office, but mostly we communicate through WhatsApp, even though when we do projects. We have our membership WhatsApp group and the BOD WhatsApp group. Everything is decided through WhatsApp, normally because they are working. So so far we formed the club February. We have done 6 to 7 projects already. So it done fast. So we do it like a interact way. Actually, a few of them are interactors. So when I tell them, oh, Rotary is something like that. So we a bit like interact way, like we report back to Rotary Club of Taiwan. Yes.
Former interactors, yeah.
Yeah. So something like this. So we do things quite fun and we do things very fast. That means we can decide on the spot with a few members in the BOD, and we just tell the members. So Chinese say 有钱出钱, 有力出力. You want to contribute in money, you contribute. You want to go down to the field, you go down to the field. So we do things fast but must be in proper. Yeah, we have the accounts, everything. Right. Then we report to Rotary Club of Taiwan.
Great. Yeah. So you're saying you like the normal Rotary clubs, you don't take 2 months to discuss on projects.
No need.
There's no red tapes and all that. That's what I like about Satellite Club too. See,
we can do it on
because
the
they are
spot
youngsters. See, so members, they're youngsters. They're young, right? This is what young people like. They were short, snappy, not too much of authorizations or red tapes. They discuss, they plan, and they move on. All right. Just to add, Danny, if every decision is made on WhatsApp, just have a practice of having meeting minutes, just for the future, to avoid any problems. You can have meeting minutes. Just mention there it's been done on WhatsApp platform at this date, this time. Then it's fine. All right. And satellite clubs, they do have a chairman who's a leader that's appointed, and then they can have secretary and treasurer, right?
Correct.
All right. Because so the secretary will manage the meetings, and the treasurer will keep the accounts. Like Danny mentioned, they need to report to the sponsoring club. All right.
Yeah. Actually, we have a very good support from Rotary Club of Taiwan, the secretary, to support us. Yeah.
That's nice, because it's very important to build a relationship with the sponsoring club. So Satellite Club, yes, you have a flexibility of having your own club, deciding how your club experience should be. You can have your own cause, you should have your own interests, but don't forget you are still under the sponsoring club. So you have that obligation and commitment to report to your sponsoring club and build a good relationship with them. Yeah. All right. So now let's go to attraction, right? Because the title is all about attraction. If you want to attract attractive people, you need to be very attractive. That's the other term, right? So on attraction part, let's go to Raman Putra. How do you attract your members, and how do you attract the public for membership development? Because currently Raman Putra is leading on new members. So we would like to know, how did you manage to get 9 members last month?
Okay. Last month per se, we did a lot of food aid. Dato, one of our members of our board, Dato Jackie, he roped in all his tycoon friends, so to speak, and donated a lot of money, and then we were able to do carry out a lot of. We helped more than a few thousand families in our community. Right, and so we got out some of these shop owners who has a shop in in Ramaputra. We asked them to join us in our rounds while we were giving out food aids. Then they say, not bad. Then I start to ask them, what do you think about Rotary Club? Never heard before. Sat down with them, short while walking, and then we chit chat. Next moment, I said, okay, I join your club. That's how we got 9 members last month. Okay, then we have another 10 members to be registered this month. It's going to be registered this 2 days. It's just that we have been lazy, been busy preparing for our DG visit, which was yesterday. And previously we built it because usually to be because like I said just now, do you want to play badminton with Fu Kok Kiong? You want to play badminton with Ong Yu Hong? Those are the legends that we always hear, but we got no chance to play with them. First, your standard is not there. Second, they may not want to play with you. So when we tell them if you can offer to play with these people, they are very happy. So people play and they come join us. Say, I don't know about Rotary. I can't come all the meetings and stuff like that, which is the usual answer when you ask any new member. So we tell them, no, you come to the badminton hall, right? You play badminton. We talk a little bit about Rotary. Yeah, your Rotary will from there you will understand, you will learn. As time goes by, you will learn. When I started, we had about 41 members, but I can say now easily 20 members are here to stay. Even I'm not there, okay? So because they know what Rotary has, the fun, the joy, the fellowship. The joy is actually when they're able to help the community during this pandemic time. They can see people thanks them, and people write into our Facebook, or even they comment on their own Facebook. How this has helped them.
Nice. So
How
your
Rotary has
attraction is that ex-national players, and also you're offering another experience. Come play badminton with the national players. So all the badminton enthusiasts, or they will come over. Even with basketball, right? Even with Danny, I think for Satellite Club, you can maybe invite Azizul with his Olympic silver medal. Yeah, why not? Why not? He can be inspiration for the interactors around the area.
Raj, also, Raj, sorry, I think it's a good thing to bring up what Karthi said. Will the Satellite Club members join Setiawan later? And I think Danny replied, but maybe you want to give him just 2 minutes.
I've not gone to the chat yet. Maybe I'll do that
I'm
after.
just reading up from it because I think it's a good succession plan to talk about, right?
Yeah,
How
I'll
members can
go in a
move
while. Let me finish with Danny's attraction first. So Danny, very quickly, before we wrap up and go to the questions, what is your attraction? All right, before you answer, let's just explain, because as a new club also we have to look into adding new members, because when we have to make ourselves stronger and attractive in numbers. So, and also we can build our resources, skills, we diversify the skills. So we have more members to think, more members, more hands to do the projects, right? So Danny, what is your attraction, the Satellite Club?
Our attraction is still the blood donation drive we do, and still the cycling spirit. So because now I think cycling is becoming a new trend, a new sport. So in Manjong area, actually a lot of Malay cyclists. So when we do the first blood donation drive, actually the whole group of Malay cyclists, they already come to support and give blood donation, and they started to ask what is Rotary. So something like that. So our members decided that we only can increase members because we are young. So by doing good projects, so for our publicity in our community here in Manjong. Yeah, so that is what we do. And for my stand is, whenever we can pull in member easily, but I still focus on the monetary term, the district deals and RI deals, because it come up to nearly 550 ringgit per annum. So that one, you can come and enjoy Rotary, but the fee you need to pay, something like that. Yeah.
All right. So the other attraction is being young also, right?
Yeah.
So you can attract all the former Rotractors, our youth, all the youth programs like Raila, the alumni. And the question that you answered, I just would like to read it out. Will Satellite Club members join RC Setiawan later? Yes, they can. They can transfer, or when the Satellite Club reach 25 members, they themselves can decide whether they want to convert themselves to a Rotary Club or they want to stay as a Satellite Club. It's entirely up to the Satellite Club members to make the decision. So members, if you have any questions, please put it to the chat. And IPDG Leo said, is Chairman Eddie Ong from Satellite Club of RC Sitiawan? You mean the
No, I
Tanjung
cannot
Youth?
give you money, but if you want, I can give you too.
Ash, please
Yeah,
help
yeah,
to
yeah.
mute. And good to hear from the horse mouth of the real experience and why join. That's the reason I didn't come up with my slides. I wanted you guys to listen to them. All right, so especially the newer members and new clubs, right? If you hear the seniors saying you must, each one bring one, we must build the club, all right? Please understand that we are not pushing for the recruitment for any other reason. But if your club grows in numbers, your club becomes stronger and becomes attractive. Right? When you have more hands, more minds, you can plan for more projects, and everywhere you can delegate the work. So you can help more people and build bigger community. Right? And there's another question soon.
Yep.
Arthur I think he wants to play badminton with Fu Kok Yong, so he's asking
Please
where
come.
Raman Putra meets.
We meet-
Only after the pandemic, yeah. For now, his
yeah.
badminton is on hold.
Our badminton is mainly held in Sedang Badminton Hall. Ong Yu Hall is our member. And another place is in OUG. Andrew is our member, ex-youth champion. So we have a couple of places. No problem.
Right.
Bring a racket. Somebody says, I'm going to receipt and bring a racket. Francis said, please bring a racket. You don't even need to bring a racket. We have shoes. With a racket, just bring your shorts or maybe your underpants, because
Maybe I'll ask a question now. Maybe these were the question I asked in my previous talks. Maybe I'll ask this to two of you now. How do you understand your members' interests? Earlier we said that we have to understand the members' interests, what they want. Then we set the club experience to fulfill not all, but most of them, right? So how do you get to know? How do you understand your members? Do you ask one by one, or do you do a survey? How do you understand that?
Okay, let me speak first, Danny. Sorry, senior. Well, I've been playing badminton for a long time, so when I get this idea, it's easy for me to ask my friends, because I would really know what they are thinking about badminton per se. So the recipe is: do you like to see a young kid, transform to be a champion? I think a lot of people likes that, So how do we help them? We do not know how to train them. We can help them mentally. We can help them by giving money or providing a shelter, or even bring them out on an outing on a Saturday and Sundays. That's what my members does with our kids. We call them adopted kids. I'm the grandpa because I'm the oldest in the club. So how do I know my members? So I know what they feel, how they feel. I only have to just use the Rotary platform and put in, you build this up and, they are in as a Rotary member. They might be in for the wrong reasons, like the people say, because they join for the wrong reason, but they will stay after some time because
For the right reason, yeah.
You're helping somebody.
When they know
a lot of people are doing that, they try to help some players on their own. But as a person, as one person, we cannot go far. You need a platform.
So can we conclude that your communication, you communicate with your members, you talk to them, listen to them, right? That's how you know what they like. Yeah.
Raj, probably you do not know what PDG Paul said, because PDG Leo asked before, and when's a good time to come to your club? And Paul said, these people meet every day, they have fellowship every day, so you can come anytime. So really, we really meet every day. Our Rotaries meet almost every day. Even now, we can't go out physically. We Zoom 1 week 3 times. Just talk.
So do you sit with the racket and the shuttlecock on Zoom?
Sometimes we'll play a fool.
All right.
So you meet every day.
Yeah. All right. So see, a senior club, they prefer to talk to each other. They meet every day, they talk to each other by any means. They that's how they connect. Right now, let's listen to the younger club. So Danny, how do they understand the members' needs so that the club can plan a club experience or project to cater to what the member wants?
Yeah, you see, we have a few professionals in our club. So whenever member project we do, we go straight to the point, like what the community wants. So they have their own idea, so they can plan. And we just chit-chat everything on WhatsApp only.
WhatsApp.
And we decide to do it. That is the thing. So because now we still can cycle. So whenever we are cycling, we just chit chat a bit. That is just that, yeah.
See,
But one thing good about this Manjong youth is the Facebook is active, and we have a latest member join because he saw the Facebook, and he also like cycling. Then he like, while having fun, do some project, because I tell them Rotary is international. At least whatever you give is recognized internationally. I think that is a very good point for the young chap. And I tell them you build your career and you build your charity through Rotary, your servicing heart to Rotary, and is recognized internationally. I think this is a good point for young people to build up their own.
Yep, because they
Like,
like to learn
yes.
something and they can learn. All right. So last 1 minute, let's wrap this up. The reason why I asked this question is for the newer members here and the newer clubs here. All right. So there's a lot of saying that Rotary is too old school, too many protocols, you know. We don't want that to get into your head for you to get frustrated. Then you can't meet the purpose of you joining Rotary. Right? That's the reason we brought a young advisor for a young club, where these young members formed a Rotary club, a satellite club, and they're doing the project. So Rotary is for young. All right. There's no hard carved rules on the stone here. You can reformat, tweak a bit the format to suit your club age group or habit, culture, you know. So it's entirely up to you. Remember that 4 points: the club experience, how you want to where you want to have the meeting, how long you want to have the meeting, the duration of the meeting, the frequency of the meeting is entirely up to you. You have a club bylaw, so you can set it there and do a survey and ask the members what do they prefer, what do they want, right? And the second point is cost base. We are not saying you must do only one project. We didn't say that, right? But when you have a focused cost, it's very easy for you to tell your members what do we do, and for the members to understand what are they doing in Rotary, and for them to go out there to tell the story of your club and what do you do to the public. It's easier when it's very focused and interest-based. And interest-based, when you do something with interest, you really put more, 200 and 300%, because that's your interest. See, like badminton, you know, their interest is they put badminton there, and they're using badminton to do community service, to transform the students' life. So the members come because they like badminton, you know, they love badminton. So they use that to the community service. So what do we do in Rotary? Community projects. So we have hit two birds in one stone, similar to Sitiawan Manjong Youth cycling. All right, they will cycle from Manjong all the way to Ipoh, and then they'll do a project in an old folks home, and they'll cycle back to Manjong. All right, so again, two birds in one stone. And then the final one, attraction. Right, we need to be attractive in something, right? Is it the young age group of your members to attract the young ones? Or is it the celebrities in your club that's going to attract, like sports players or Dato, Puan Sris, or business magnates, you know? So someone, what is the attractive? But of course, normal individuals like me and you also can be attractive too. But we have to have an attraction. What is our attraction? You know, so these are the 4 points that we can build the club. Right. So new members and the newer clubs, especially Sraman Gateway, we have our E-Club, and we have Bukit Jalil Rantau. These are the newer clubs, satellite clubs. So it's time for you to sit with your members and get to know what they want. All right. So with that, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for listening, and thank you for looking up at the camera and not playing with your phone. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we had an amazing session. We talked about membership, especially how you need to essentially build your own identity. And that is what attraction is all about, building your own identity, right? The same way Warren talked about how you have to build your club culture and what club admin means to your organization, to your club personally, and to your members. How Raj spoke about building your own identity. Someone is on waste. I heard turn left. I hope you do make that turn. Raj, can you help?
Yes, I will.
Yeah, thank you very much. But ladies and gentlemen, building is important, and that's why our team for today is built. We are building something greater than ourselves. We are building Rotary clubs. And above that, we are building future generations. Now, Raj, with his panelists, spoke about young attraction. We are going to move very far away from anything young to introduce my district trainer, right? And what he's talking about is how, you see, when we do something, ladies and gentlemen, we always get a profound effect. But very rare do we get a compounding effect. And that's why district trainer Karthi is going to talk about building the gift that keeps on giving, the Rotary Foundation. So I'd like to pass it over to you, my brother, district trainer Karthi Palanisamy. Over to you, Karthi.
Thank you, Ash. I hope you guys can see my full screen.
We can, Karthi.
Okay, thanks, Ash. I'm going to speak about building the gift that keeps giving, right? And I want to re-ascertain this. And I think one of the greatest values that Rotarians give is our time. And one of the greatest things that you have done was being a Rotarian. But really, while we give, and which is the most important thing, giving our time, giving our volunteer hours, it's also nice to know that Rotarians, this is something that RI did last year. And this Rotarians last year had given 47 million hours of service. Now, if you want to equate that to real value, and there's actually a data set that determines amount of volunteer hours to real value. This is how much we have given. 4 billion ringgit of our time to volunteer hours. So really pat yourself on the back, because this is really what we have done. As Rotarians, we've given time, and that's really what's most important, right? Yes, it's nice to give money, but one of the greatest gift we can give is volunteering our hours, volunteering our time, the time we spend in giving food parcels, giving food aid, in the time the guys in Ramanputra go out there and help young boys build talent, the time that the guys in Manjung went to go and give blood donation. All these things, in terms of value, we've given 4 billion ringgit of hours last year. But I want to now dial into one thing, and my topic is about the Rotary Foundation and why each of us should attempt to give. But let's just look globally, which is the countries that has given the most, right? And this is, of course, in US dollars. And if you look here, I think US has given close to 395 million US dollars, right? And this is the average for the last 5 years, right? Those are the flags in orange. But if you go down to the flags in yellow, and what's interesting is this: Singapore, by average, right, a Rotarian gives 615 US dollars, and that's pretty high, right? So each Rotarian in Singapore has given, and this is on average over 5 years, 615 US dollars a year. So the top 5 countries are actually Canada, United States, Singapore, Hong Kong, Korea, and Taiwan. Individually, these are how much they've given, right? But as I talk about the Rotary Foundation, it's also some of the questions sometimes we ask is the foundation really using the money well, right? And in the last 5 to 10 years, what Rotary International has done was to get the foundation evaluated. And one of the top evaluators is an organization called Charity Navigator, right? And a lot of NGOs now ask the Charity Navigator to evaluate them. And it's amazing because Rotary in the last 3 years have got 100 over 100 points, right? We have got 4-star rating was the highest level of this. Only 91% of our funds that we give towards Rotary Foundation goes towards direct. So only 9% is being used for administration and cost of transfer and stuff like that. So you know, when you give towards Rotary Foundation, the money goes to the right people. Just a snapshot, this is just last year alone. Last year alone, Rotary Foundation has given close to 490 grants worth 33 million US dollars. In terms of disaster, we've given 339 disaster response grants worth 8.4 million US. And global grants, and you guys have heard this, global grants, 1,359 global grants worth 95 million US dollars. Are these figures important? I really don't think so. You know, this is just for you as information. But the question to ask yourself is this, and some of the simple things before I dial into the point about giving. The first ever contribution to Rotary Foundation was in 1917, right? And this was actually an excess of funds after an RI convention, right? And in 1979, Rotary immunized 6 million children in the Philippines, right? And Rotary has spent 12.6 billion ringgit in funds in doing all these projects. I want you to remember this because so at least you know the next time when someone talks to you about Rotary Foundation, you know some of these facts. And of course, you've heard this all the time about polio and Rotary's fight against polio. And I thought I should share with you one or two slides, a few slides about polio, but very, very umbrella figures. This was in 1988 when Rotary decided to embark on this program to fight against polio. So all those shaded countries in 1988, these were the countries that were affected with polio in 1988. You can see Malaysia was still affected by polio, and practically all over the world, polio was a problem. 1988. Remember, this was the year that Rotary decided to embark on fighting polio, in eradicating polio worldwide. This is 1988. This is 1992. Northern part of America, the Americas was pretty clear. Australia has always had no problems. Malaysia, we had solved the problem. Still bits, parts of Southern America. Africa was still a big problem. Asia, Europe, part of Europe, USSR, then Russia was still a problem. This is the year 2000. Completely wiped out of Americas. The only two continents that were still affected was basically Africa and India, right? And this is now. The problem is now only in two countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan. Some of you all who are in the Rotary group would have received an email from Governor Bindi today that there are only two known cases now, one in Afghanistan, one in Pakistan. You know, I tell you this story for one simple reason. Smallpox was eradicated years and years ago, and that was an effort done globally by United Nations. Polio is our fight. Rotary has embarked on this to eradicate polio in 1988. Today in 2020, we're down to 2 cases. We hope in 3-4 years' time to be completely eradicated. And you know what, guys? Rotary did this. And when we do eradicate polio completely out of this world, we can go around saying this. And this is about chest thumping, that Rotary as an NGO is the only NGO in the world to have eradicated a disease. And that's really a big story, isn't it? Rotary having been able to, and that's why the global focus. And of course, some of us don't understand polio because if you are 45 years and below, you probably have never seen someone with polio. Neither do you know anyone who's affected by polio. But that's our global cause. You saw some of the videos earlier that Ash showed, I think the Bandaraya children's thing and the Orang Asli. Those are the programs that Rotary has supported locally here in Malaysia, right? The Rotary Foundation. So the funds that we give towards Rotary Foundation goes towards a lot of projects here in District 3300 in this country. But remember this, the Rotary Foundation is not just about polio. There are other things that we support too. But some of the questions I think you should ask and everyone ever should ask, where does my money go to, right? Yes, you want me to give to Rotary Foundation? I can, but where does my money go to? If you give $50, it goes towards feeding a family of 3 in Nigeria. If you give 100 ringgit, it goes towards teaching a child in India to read and write. And if you give 200 ringgit, it goes towards immunizing 63 children from polio. So to dial it down, every money that you give, and you saw earlier, right, 91% of the money that you give is being used directly towards programs like this. So even if you give 50 ringgit, it helps a family of 3 in Nigeria. 100 ringgit, a child, to teach a child to read and write in India, and 200 ringgit to immunize 63 children from polio. So every single contribution counts. But I think it's important to make giving simple and easy, right? It's not about giving $1,000 US. It's not about giving $500 US. It's about giving what you want to. I want to share with you some of the things that some of the clubs have practiced, and maybe these are the things that you may want to consider doing it in your own club. I give you an example of my club, right? What we do is we include that as part of our membership fee. So we pay a membership fee of 120 ringgit. This was prior to pandemic. So now I think it's slightly less because we don't meet anymore. But we pay 120 ringgit a month, and that includes close to 34 ringgit of that 120 ringgit a month goes towards Rotary Foundation. So in a year, every single member of my Rotary Club contributes $100 US towards Rotary Foundation. So we made it easy. We broke it down, put it into our membership fee. So everyone pays 120 ringgit. We take that money from there and put it in your name or put it in my name under Rotary Foundation. So my club, I joined this Rotary Club Central Damansara in 2007. From 2007 right up to 2021, I have given $100 US a year. Only because I paid my 120 ringgit every month. I think the idea is, how does every single Rotarian become a contributor, right? Some of you all may have heard this thing called the Paul Harris Fellow. Yeah, if you pay $1,000 US, your RI confers you the Paul Harris Fellow. But the idea here, as young Rotarians, when I say young, I mean newer Rotarians, is to give. But give what you want to, give it as simple as possible. There are many ways of doing it. You can do a direct debit from your credit card on a monthly basis under your name to Rotary, as low as 36 ringgit a month or 34 ringgit a month. A direct debit through your credit card or your debit card. And by the end of the 12 months, you have contributed $100 US to Rotary Foundation. But let me share with you a scheme that RI has done to make things easy, which is a platform called Raise for Rotary. Right? It's called Raise for Rotary. This is the website, raiserotary.org. And this is interesting because I wanted to share this only because I think this can easily be done by many of you all. Right? This is about, say, example, if you wanted to do a fundraiser to raise money towards a certain cause. So you go to this website called Raise for Rotary. This is the website address, raiserotary.org. You go in there, you click the word Start Fundraiser, and you come on to this. And you can do this either as individual, or you can do it as a team. So imagine I was from the Rotary Club, say the Rotary Club of Sramban Gateway, and I decided to raise 2,000 ringgit, $2,000 US towards a certain cause. Of course, the cause has to be something to do with the Rotary Foundation. So you choose team or you choose individual. And then you can choose the type, whether you use a celebration to commemorate Merdeka Day or to celebrate your club anniversary. Or you can create your own event. Or you can have a challenge, right? Choose either one of those things. And you can choose what you want to support. You can support any of these things, the World Fund, the Polio Fund, the Disaster Fund, or any of the 7 area of focus. Choose any of those things. And then you decide how much you want to raise. You can raise 250 US, 500 US, 1,500 US. You can choose any of these options. Or you can customize this. And if you're doing it as an individual, you can customize the amount to as low as $100 US. Right? But remember this. You're doing this, if you're doing it as an individual, or even if you're doing it as a team, you're doing it under your own name. Right? And then what happens is, the system allows you to keep track. If you're doing it as a team of each individual. So in this case, if you look at it closely, Owen here is raised 0, Tracy has raised 1,000.
Were you
Sorry?
supposed to be sharing your screen?
Yeah.
You're not at the moment.
At the moment, no?
No.
Not that we
Okay,
can
you're
see.
in. Okay,
No, we
great,
can
great.
see. Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
The rest of all could see, right?
Yeah.
So can you see now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we could.
Yeah. So you come to this. So if you're doing it as a team, the system allows you to track every single one of the member who has raised, right? It tells you who has given you money. And the good thing about using this system is once the system is set up and it takes you 3 minutes to set it up, you can share it on Facebook, you can share it on Twitter, you can send an email to anyone. The system creates its own EDM to send it to as many friends as you want to. So you can do, for example, I'm going to shave my hair bald. I want to raise $200 US, right? You do this and you can post it on Facebook so all your friends can donate as low as $1 US, $5 US, and whatever. And you raise, end of the day, once you achieve the target of 200 or $100 US, the system closes and the money goes under your name. So for example, if it's XYZ, it goes under your name to Rotary Foundation. So ARA has set various ways for you to give. I believe one of the greatest gifts we have given is our time, our volunteer hours. And I showed earlier that the great work Rotary Foundation has done, the projects we support. So there is a necessity for each Rotarian to support the Rotary Foundation, but the amount depends on you. As low as $50 US a year, as low as $100 US, up to you. And there are also platforms like this, Race for Rotary, which helps you give, right? And I want to end with this. This is something that the district has embarked on this year, which is a project called Tabung Kita. Most, if not all of you all would have received your tabung. The idea of this is for you to be able to place it in your house, your office, and it allows a conversation to happen. It allows you, if you place it in your house, if you place it in your office, it allows you to have a conversation with your colleagues in the office and what Rotary is. But remember this, whatever money that you collect over a period of time goes under your name to Rotary Foundation. So you saw the platform called Race for Rotary, which ARA has set up to make it easy for every single Rotarian to raise money, for every single Rotary club to raise money towards Rotary Foundation in your name or in your club's name, and the project that the district has done, right? Tabung Kita, where each one of us raise money under our name towards a good cause. So the idea of today's is a short session just to tell you the reason why you should give. And you saw the examples I gave you. You saw the 2 videos that Ash played earlier of the work Rotary Foundation does. And finally, really giving is about changing lives. It's not about giving $1,000 US. It's not about giving 500. It's giving what you want to give. It's about practicing the art of giving. That's basically it, in terms of Rotary Foundation. There's so many other things to learn, but don't worry about all the different grants we're talking about. I wanted to share with you in 15 minutes exactly the importance of giving. And there are various ways of giving that will help change lives. There are various ways of giving, easy and simple. With that, thank you very much.
Thank you, District Trainer. I think that was an amazing presentation. Once again, guys.
And any questions? I don't mind answering any questions, or anyone else here can share.
I think that maybe Gati, but DG answered this, but I think Beverly Tew asked that, she would like to raise this on Facebook for her club. Is there a way she can raise this and channel it to our club instead of RI?
As the money goes towards the club, or the money goes in the name of the club?
I think it goes towards the club, but I don't think that's possible, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, because If you use it, if you spend some time and go into that platform, right, Race for Rotary, if you understand the concept, it's not difficult to do. You can use that for your own club, but you cannot use Race for Rotary because that goes towards Rotary Foundation. But use the similar understanding about a global. But the good thing about you using, for example, you decided, okay, I want to give towards TRF, the Rotary Foundation. Go to Race for Rotary and you'll see 100 examples of other people. Some guy did to commemorate his birthday. He wanted to raise $500 and he did. Within 10 days, he managed to raise $500 from all his friends. Right? The system allows you to do everything on there, and you can post it on Facebook, on Twitter, on your email, and all that. So the platform allows you. But remember this: the fund goes towards Rotary Foundation under your name. So yes, I mean, if you're talking about your own club, you should try to start a similar platform. The platform isn't difficult to build, but yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. And I think I just want to note that DG Dr. Krishna did say he himself is doing a Race for Rotary campaign to raise $4,000 to celebrate his 40th wedding anniversary. It's that simple.
True, but I hope DG Krishna has at least given 2,000 of his own money first to get more people to jump in. So yeah, no, I mean, the idea is to make it easy, and this is what ARA has done, right? To make it easy for people to give, right? Some of the older Rotarians here always have the assumption that giving to TRF means Paul Harris Fellow. It's not. It's not. Giving $50 a year is giving. Right, and I remember one of the initial slides I showed was Singapore gives is one of the top 5 countries, average of $650 per Rotarian, right? A global average over 5 years. But it's amazing because what they've done is they worked on the idea of having everyone buying into the idea than trying to get only a small group giving PHF. So the idea is if you have 2,032 Rotarians, imagine if each one of them gave $50. It probably in the longer term becomes a bigger thing. It's about having a discipline about giving. It's about telling people that giving changes lives. That's basically it, yeah.
And I thank you very much for that, District Attorney Karthi. And I reiterate my point that you can be profound, but this creates a compounding effect, right? That a little bit that you give, it helps the children in Nigeria, it helps polio, it helps children in India gain literacy. And once again, whilst this whole Rotary 101 is built around a theme of build, don't forget that we eliminated or almost eliminated polio. So we've broken down a lot of the bad and we keep building the good. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've come to the lunch break at this point in time. We will resume. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's resume our program. Raj, can you do the honorary muting of the Zoom participants, just so we don't get any noise in the way of the next stop? And as I heard during the informal chat, a lot of people are looking forward to the next slot. Some of you heard it before, but came back to hear it again. And we've got 4 more sessions to go with Rotary 101 in the team build. And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, if nothing else, I know after lunch is a very hard time to stay awake, but I think the next speaker is really going to wake us all up. So the Rotary Public Image Coordinator from the Rotary Club of Kuching Central, PD, this time I say D, PDG Andre Suharto. PDG Andre Suharto, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ash. And very good afternoon to all of you. District Governor Dato Bindi Rajasegaran. Nice to be here again in your district. And District 3300 Trainer, Assistant Public Image Coordinator, Karthi Palanisamy. Past District Governors, the Rotary International Officers, past District Governors, District and Club Officers, Rotaractors, if there is any, and ladies and gentlemen. Now, what I'm going to share with you was apparently already shared with a district in the Philippines last week, where DG Dr. Krishna and his wife Pushpa had the opportunity to attend. And so I think Karthi decided that, it'll be good for me to be back and share here with you again about the connection of the Rotary 4-way test, which I think many of you are familiar because a lot of you have been in Rotary for many, many years. Right, so I'm trying to make the connection between being in compliance with the Rotary 4-way test as the ingredient to be an awesome Rotary brand ambassador. Now, let me just share my slide. Okay, so this is the title of my talk, the 4A test, the ingredient for an awesome Rotary brand ambassador. So obviously, some are actually asking, what has this 4A test got to do with being a good Rotary brand ambassador? So for those of you who are new, let me just go back on the history of Rotary when this organization was set up in 1905 by an attorney, American attorney by the name of Paul Harris, with 3 of his other friends. And at that point in time, it was called the Rotary Club of Chicago. So the foundation in which Rotary was built was actually friendship. So they built Rotary based on friendship, and they take the opportunity of that friendship to deliver services to the community to meet the needs and expectations of the community at that point in time. That was in 1905. But you know, it was not until 1912 when Rotary expanded to set up a club in London outside of North America. And at that point in time, then it was called the International Association of Rotary Clubs. That was in 1912. But only at the Los Angeles Convention in 1922 that they changed the name to what we know it right now, which is Rotary International. And at that same year, the attendees actually approved what they call it the object of Rotary, which was adopted as part of the standard constitution of each Rotary Club. And I would like to just read the 4 of them to you. Number 1, the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service. Again, this emphasis means that the development of friendship, and take that friendship as an opportunity to provide service to the community. And as Rotarians, we are actually leaders in our vocation. So we must have high ethical standards in our business and professions. And we must recognize the worthiness of all useful occupations and dignify each of Rotarians' occupation, again, as an opportunity to serve society. Number 3, the application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian's personal, business, and community life, which means that whether it is your personal, business, or community life, this ideal of community service is actually ingrained in you. And the last one, but not least, the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a world of fellowship of business and professional persons who are united in the ideal of service. Again, business professional persons, right, who are united together and enjoy the friendship and the fellowship, and in the process, delivering community service. It was in 1930, 8 years later, after the Los Angeles Convention, that there was this guy by the name of Herbert J. Taylor, where he was actually involved in a company called Club Aluminum Company, and the company was in the brink of bankruptcy. And he was thinking very, very hard as to how he could actually survive, or rather take this company out from where it was, the hardship and the money that they owed to the bank. And he kept on praying and praying to us for guidance. And he wanted to have something that the company can have, which the competitors do not have. So finally, he came out with these 100 words divided into 7 parts. So it was called the 7-way test. And he found that it was a bit too long, and he continued to refine it. And it was finally reduced to 25 words in 4 parts. And that is what it is called now, the 4-way test. And it was not until 1942 that the Rotary International Board of Directors adopted the 4-way test as a component of vocational service program. Because, as you know, those days, when we become a Rotary member, our membership is based on our vocation. So therefore, that is something that is unique about Rotary than compared to any other organization. Now, in 1905, when Rotary was set up, it was the first non-profit organization that was set up in the world. The Kiwanis was set up 10 years later in 1915, and the Lions was set up in 1917. So we were actually quite ahead. But because the Lions was not very particular about professions, or rather classification of our vocation, therefore their membership actually grew at a faster rate than Rotary. Now, this 4-way test says that, is it the truth? Anything that you say and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? So having said that, as Rotarians, we are expected to embrace the 4-way test as our moral and personal credo. If you look at this carefully, this is actually aligned with any religion that one may have. So with the 4-way test, and if we continue to practice, eventually these become characteristic, or rather traits, of Rotarians. And what are our traits? We could categorize it into 4. Rotarians like to build lifelong relationship. We honor our commitments, we connect diverse perspectives, and we apply our leadership and expertise to serve social issues. So these are our traits of being a Rotarian. Now, if you look at this, right, and if we can summarize them into shorter terms, the first one is like fellowship. Second one, when we talk about we honor our commitments, that is integrity. And when we talk about we connect diverse perspective, that is diversity. And the last is about service and leadership. Now, these 5 terms that I put it in black next to each of the white sentences, don't you think that this is something similar that we have, which is our core values? Now, interestingly, Rotary never explicitly mentioned about the 5 core values until it was in 2007, right? That Rotary explicitly mentioned about the core values, and they are service, diversity, fellowship, integrity, and leadership. And which is actually based on the traits that I have just shown you in the previous slide. So as Rotarians who are supposed to embrace the 4-way test and to tell the truth, and who are actually fair to whatever we do, and we can build friendship and so forth, we actually use this as our guiding principle in our Rotary life, as well as in our personal life and professional life. And these guiding principles, if we really practice this, as I've mentioned, eventually this can be called as our traits of being Rotarians. And over the years, when these traits are continuously practiced through the guiding principles, we build a culture. And that culture today produces the 5 core values. Whether you know it or not, especially for Rotarians who have been in Rotary for many years, these core values are ingrained in us. Whatever we do, we show these core values. So as Rotarians who embrace the 4-way test, we must make sure that we constantly show this fellowship, integrity, diversity, service, and leadership in everything that we do. And therefore, with that in mind, I want to take you back to look at the definition of brand ambassadors. What is brand ambassadors? And you would have seen some of these images. Tiger Woods associated with Nike for those golfers, right? Omega many years ago used to use this, the model Cindy Crawford associated with the watch, and DJ Snake with the shoes Puma, and Pepsi in Korea using the Blackpink K-pop as their brand ambassador. and Samsung using BTS K-pop as their brand ambassador. But these are for consumer goods. Now, there are also goodwill brand ambassadors like Priyanka Chopra, the actress from India, and David Beckham, the footballer. They are the goodwill brand ambassadors of UNICEF. Why do they use these brand ambassadors? I will talk to you a little bit later on in my next couple of slides. So, what is brand ambassador? First of all, they are actually people who represent the brand in a positive light. And naturally, when we talk about people who represent the brand, you obviously want to use celebrities, because these celebrities already have created a name and reputation. So by associating the celebrity with the brand, you actually put a face on the brand. And in doing so, they represent the brand at specific events, and they can even demonstrate the services offered by the organization. And we tend to remember it better because we can see the face with that brand. So a good brand ambassador must know how to use the word of mouth marketing and technique effectively. And they must also use their already established relationships to market the brand among them or outside of their network, including especially the social media. And as a good brand ambassador, they must be able to use their social prowess to boost brand awareness and embody the mission and the values of the brand. So the importance of brand ambassadors is, number one, they humanize the brand and they help to publicize the brand, whether it is within their own circle of friends or outside, especially in the digital space. Popularizations, they help to increase traffic to your website or your social media accounts, or even for those who are visiting their website and get to know about them being associated with the brand. But sometimes they can also be an asset, where in times of bad press, they can become the neutral party to defend your brand by having to share their personal good experiences with the brand. Like for instance, if somebody talk bad about Rotary, right, in our end polio initiatives, maybe Bill Gates can come in and actually testify his personal experiences, the Bill Melinda Gates Foundation experiences with Rotary, to counter effect the bad press that we get. And this is just an example. I'm sure hopefully it will not happen. And taking the end polio initiative, we actually used to have a lot of these end polio goodwill ambassadors, from religious teacher, boxer, wrestler, presenters, TV presenters, actress, you name it, right? And we used to have this, but apparently I think now we don't use that often anymore for reasons that I'm not too sure why. And in the Philippines, a number of their local actors and actresses and singers were actually brand ambassador or goodwill brand ambassadors for our end polio initiative. Singapore Airlines, surprisingly, do not use or do not have any brand ambassadors from outside of the organization. They use their in-flight Singapore girls as their brand ambassadors. And don't you think that this is similar to what Rotary is doing? We are using our own Rotarians, members in Rotary, to become the good Rotary brand ambassadors. And take a look at the Singapore girls, how the way they actually serve the customers and make the customers feel so great by flying Singapore Airlines. And that's the kind of image we as Rotarians would like to convey, because that is the truth. We are only telling the truth because we as Rotarians, we embrace the 4-way test, that we are people of action and we help the community sincerely, right? And it builds goodwill and friendship with things that we do in the community. And as well as it is, apart from telling the truth, right? It is fair to all concerned, especially Rotarians, because that is the nature and the traits of Rotarians all over the world. That is the reason why that we as Rotarians must make effort to know about the voice and visual identity guidelines, so that we do not actually convey the wrong messaging to members of the public about Rotary and about your club. Now, you may not do this on purpose by not knowing the brand guideline. Therefore, you decided that you use a logo, and that logo may not be brand compliant, but you did not do it on purpose. But remember, as Rotarians, you have high ethical standards in your profession and in your vocation. Therefore, not knowing the brand voice and visual identity guideline is not an excuse for a Rotarians, because that does not amplify you being a Rotarians that are supposed to be leaders in your vocation. Therefore, this is something that I would like to emphasize to everybody, that being a Rotarian, we must make sure that we comply and try to practice the 4A test. It is not easy, but we must give it a try. And hopefully over time, we can move one step at a time to make it more reality. So everybody in Rotary can become a good Rotary brand ambassador. Look at these pictures. If we can continue using these photographs of projects that you and your club and your district have been carrying out, and these are the kind of images that we see in the social media very often, eventually members of the public who actually see your postings in your social media will be able to come to a conclusion to say that Rotarians are actually people of action. They help the community. They are not people who just give out check standing there. They call it the the photograph of people lining up and taking photograph by standing in front of the camera. They call it the machine gun stand or something like that, where you take the gun and start to shoot everybody in a line. So there is a term that they use for that. I can't remember exactly the term that they use, but that kind of photo does not show that we are people of action. You may be able to use such photograph for your internal consumption, for your newsletter and so forth, but that's not the kind of photos that you want to continuously make it obvious to members of the public, especially if your social media account is open, no restriction as to who can visit your social media account. Therefore, being a Rotarian that is in line with the moral and personal credo, and in embracing it to tell only the truth, to make sure that it is what you do and what you say is fair to all concerned, especially to Rotarians who have conscientiously helped to build and nurture the brand. If you don't comply with the brand guidelines, you are going to ripple the efforts of the other Rotarian. So is it fair to all concerned? Definitely it is not. And in the process of damaging the efforts of other Rotarians, will it build goodwill and better friendship? Of course it will not. By showing people of action images on your social media accounts or on your publications, will you be able to build goodwill and better friendships with members of the community? Of course, because they will then have the empathy and they will have the notion that Rotarians are people who are very helpful in addressing the needs and expectations of the community. And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Definitely, because what you contribute to the community will help the community so that the community can become better, can become healthier, can become more prosperous, and in return, everyone who lives in that community will benefit from the healthy community. So it is hopefully that by telling the truth, merely in complying with the instruction from the voice and visual identity guideline, right? We are only helping to convey the correct and consistent message about who we are. And is it fair to all concerned? Conveying accurate brand messaging will help elevate the image of Rotary and the 35,000 Rotary clubs worldwide, where 1.2 million Rotarians are members of this club. And we hope that by end of this Rotary year, the target of 1.3 million can be realized. And will it build goodwill and better friendship? Well, being a good Rotary brand ambassador, being compliant with the brand guideline, will help us to strengthen our will to become a Rotary brand ambassador and help to build and nurture goodwill and friendship with people that we unite to take actions. And being a good Rotary brand ambassador will help to promote Rotary with consistent messaging that will bring benefits to our audiences in knowing how we do good in the world. You remember in 2015 when Rotary International carried out a survey across 1 million respondents in 15 countries. The conclusion of that survey is that while many actually know about Rotary, they know about that Rotary wheel, we are in the top 3 in terms of brand awareness, but many do not know how we do good in the world. They do not know that clubs undertake cataract operations for the poor people in the rural communities, that Rotarians help to provide clean water to villagers who have problems in getting clean water, thus affecting the health of the community members. And therefore, this will be beneficial in building the community to a better place. So by adopting the 4A test, we can avoid situations where we are confusing members of the public by showing things that are not consistent with the brand guideline. So we must make sure that we adopt the voice and visual identity when we come out with logo. But having said that, we must remember logo is not the only thing about Rotary public image. As I've mentioned earlier on, the survey indicated that as far as brand awareness is concerned, people are aware. But what we need to do is we need to try and move people from being brand aware to be interested in Rotary so that they can get engaged with the activities your club is doing, either as a volunteer, as a donor, right, as a participant, and eventually get the inspirations by doing the good things that you guys are doing. And in the process, hopefully this will move their hearts. They can either become a member or they may actually become your brand ambassador by saying a lot of good things about your club, about Rotary, about you being a Rotarian to their fellow colleagues and help to promote Rotary. All right? As the Walt Disney former CEO Michael Eisner once said that, a brand is a living entity and the process of building brand is similar to raising kids. Therefore, this building of a brand, Rotary brand, is not overnight. It takes consistent number of years by not only one or two, but everybody as a Rotarian to be able to nurture, to build and nurture the brand with care, with love, and with devotion, just like how you raise your kids. For those of you who have already got children, right? Now, Jeff Bezos, the founder and CEO of Amazon.com, says that branding is what people say about you when you are not in the room. So what will people talk about Rotary when you are not in front of them? That is very important. And Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla Motor, the leader in electric vehicles, he says that brand is just a perception, and a perception will match reality over time. So with that survey, we already know that people are aware about our brand, so they have some perception, but they do not know how we do good in the world until they become interested and they become engaged in your club activities. And what happened? That perception will be matched with their experience, their actual experiences when they get involved in the project. So therefore, whatever misperception that people may have about Rotary, once they get engaged with your club activities, then they know that their perception may be wrong. Or if they have got a correct perception, then it reinforces their belief that this is good what we are doing. And no one is going to understand your Rotary brand better than you. Each one of us are supposed to know about our brand better than any other people. All right? So with the 4A test, I hope that if we are really in compliance with the 4A test and telling the truth and being fair to everybody and we are leaders in our vocation. We hope to be able to be a good Rotary brand ambassador to tell people that we are actually people of action. So with that, I want to thank you. Again, as I've emphasized over here, a brand is not just a logo. The experience is the one that counts. So you must, and we must invite people from outside there, outside of our normal channel, to be connected with us and be engaged in our club projects. Yeah. So, but make sure that in constructing whatever logo that you have, you look at all possibilities. And in this particular case, I think you may have seen it, right? Once the van closes its door, the word Starbucks means something else. So that's not what we want to do, all right? And I want to thank all of you as well, for those of you who have joined this public image Rotary group in Facebook. Today, barely about 2 months, we already have about 685 members. And this is the platform where everybody learn how to become a good Rotary brand ambassador, and by sharing our experiences together. And with that, I thank you so much for the opportunity given to me to share my thought about the 4-way test and how it will actually make you to become an awesome Rotary brand ambassador. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, PDG Andre. That was a great sharing. Reminds us back of the core values. How do we use the 4-way test once again? Don't know whether we think about it every day, but I think we should, as PDG Andre reminded us. It actually, it has a lot of implications in every walk and path we take in life. And most of all, we have to remember that each and every one of us is a Rotary brand ambassador, right? So we should exemplify the traits of a Rotary brand ambassador. So thank you very much once again, PDG Andre. I know it was a bit last minute for you to join us, but I think everyone was excited to hear you speak. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in building Rotary 101 with the team Build, as we've emphasized the entire session, build is something that is long-term. PDG Andre also said this, right? Build a brand. Now, it's not to say that building is that easy. Sometimes buildings do collapse. They get damages and they have rubbles. Things like the White House, the St. Paul's Cathedral, and all this kind of historic building and landmarks have gone through troubles themselves, right? And what we are trying to build is monumental as well. Rotary is monumental, but we're going to have challenges along the way. So with that, I'd like to introduce the next session on conflict management entitled Buildings Will Have Rubble. And for that, I'd like to invite my brother, Mahad Ahmad from the Rotary E-Club of Kuala Lumpur. Mahad, over to you.
Thank you very much, Ashvin. Good afternoon, my dear friends. Now, when you first join a Rotary club, the last thing on your mind is this topic, conflict. Because when you first join any organization, or you become part of any environment, you are very excited to meet the people in that club or organization. You want to have fun, you want to do projects and all of that. So there's so much of love and excitement in the air. But as the days, weeks, and months pass by, you start, noticing, or you may come across members arguing about stuff, this member disagreeing with that member, and so on and so forth. So you see this happening, and then suddenly you start becoming a little bit annoyed, and you say, oh my God, all these, if only all these annoying people could come together and work things through and find a way to resolve things and so on. But you see, unfortunately, when we come from that line of thinking, or come from that, operate from that belief, we tend to say and do things that cause conflicts to persist, or even, create more damage for the club and for the members. Because a lot of times, if you look at the composition of a Rotary club, you notice that we attract people who are in their late 20s, 30s, or a little bit more matured in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. And these people are people who are very comfortable in, their lives, and they have accomplished a lot, and they've got their own ways of, proven ways of doing things. And suddenly you are part of a club or an organization, and you are peers with all these people. And because we are peers, we are all equal, right? Which means that my opinion is as important as your opinion. And when we come from that premise, we tend to see difference in agreement. And we start seeing maybe a little bit of friction, but that's fine because that's part of life. We must accept that. We must accept that. We must, treat it as a way of life. But what's more important is how to find ways to manage conflicts. And this will be the focus or discussion that we're going to have this afternoon. And I'll be joined by two gentlemen who have been in Rotary for a number of years. And they've been around. I've got PAG Ajit from the Rotary Club of Titi Wangsa, and I've got past President Padma from the Rotary Club of KL West. So I would like to first ask the first question, PAG Ajit. Now, PAG Ajit, as you know, all these training sessions that we conduct, and we've conducted in the past couple of months, that is carried out by a training team. The whole purpose is to equip our members with information, Rotary information, and especially this session, is designed having the new members in mind. The Satellite Club, the E-Club, and all the new clubs that have been formed in the last couple of months. Those who have missed the previous training. So, we want to bridge the gap. Because we know that by doing that, hopefully, people will have, we'll be able to bridge the gap between the ones that have the information and the ones that don't. And hopefully it will, lessen challenges and problems. But my question to you, PAG Ajit, is this. As someone who's been around, in Rotary, you've served in so many capacities in your own club, you were past president and recently an AG. In your experience, what do you think are some of the main causes of conflict in our clubs that you've noticed?
Thank you, Mahad. I think probably taking a step back with the question, I'll answer it very quickly, right?
Yeah.
Conflicts only come forward when there's a misunderstanding. And misunderstanding is only there when there's not enough information. So to answer you, right, and the experience I've had over the last 14, 15 years being in Rotary, most of the time is providing the respective club members with adequate and sufficient information. Having said that, how the information is communicated is equally vital. And in my little experience, that when we have members in our club, fairly with new clubs or with new members in your club, they are all, as far as we are concerned, as probably more older members in the club, we must remember they do not know Rotary as much as we do, yes, or rather experience Rotary as much as we do. Yes. Therefore, always guide and educate these fellow new members and new clubs, just like how you would treat a new member of your family or a new staff in your office, right? Absolutely. Or a new partner in your life. You give them full of enthusiasm with the right information, right? And keep their spirit. That way, you first of all will avoid the conflict altogether. That's my view.
Absolutely right. Thank you very much. I see VP Padma, nodding. Not sure if you agree or you have other things to add. But VP Padma, in my interaction with you, I found that you're a great Rotarian, someone who's easy to talk to and get along with. But someone in this session, could be a new member, could be a member that has been around, might be, thinking, with all that, I'm sure you have your bad days as well. And they may be thinking, PP Padma, do I really have to tolerate, some of these annoying members that I have, and do I really have to tolerate and all that? And the question is, if you say yes, then how do I find positive steps to actually make, positive changes? Because I love my club, I love Rotary, I enjoy the fellowship, and but how do I come up with some positive steps and make changes? You're on mute. Unmute, please. Can you hear me? Unmute, please.
Yeah, okay. First of all, let me thank you very much for the compliments. I'm not sure whether I'm deserving of such fine compliments, but I'll take it anyway. Thank you very much. I think taking on from what past Assistant Governor Ajit mentioned, I think when Rotarians join, they must be made aware of the fact that as a voluntary organization, Rotary is a value-based organization, as was alluded to by past District Governor Andre as well. And when it is a voluntary organization which is strongly value-based, inevitably conflicts are bound to arise with regards to directions and policies, inevitable. So this is something that every Rotarian must be made aware of. And all you need, whether it's a voluntary or a non-voluntary organization, as long as it is an organization of peoples who are addressing issues of directions and policies, conflicts are inevitable. Now, that being said, therefore, we need to take appropriate steps to anticipate. So therefore, for new members, once they are aware of the fact that, aware of the inevitability of a conflict, that's of course a strong term to use, but minor differences ultimately, if not addressed properly, will end up in a conflict. And therefore they must be trained, in addition to what AG past Assistant Governor Ajit Paul mentioned. They must be trained to anticipate conflict. That is one. So I would like to call it as taking a predictive approach, and the other is a preventive approach. Taking a predictive approach is excellent because you are addressing the issue at the bud. It's like an engineering system. If you can predict a problem and attack the problem early enough, you save the system. But if the system is failed and you are now looking at taking a preventive action, then there is a lot more that needs to be done. So so two things. One is the inevitability of a conflict or misunderstanding, to put it mildly. And if it is not managed well enough, of course, it will lead to a conflict. So Rotarians must be made to be aware of that. They must not come in thinking that everything is going to be hunky-dory, that at some point we are going to have this kind of situations.
Absolutely, well said. I'll come back to you, but I just want to quickly, take what you just said. And but before that, Ash, please, bro, remind me, because I enjoy talking to these guys. If I run out of time, just jump in anytime and let me know.
Sure, no worries.
So my question is to PAG Ajit, taking from what Bibi Padma just mentioned. I'm reminded of this phrase which goes, if you want to make everyone happy, don't be a leader, go and sell ice cream, right? And then the thing is also, it's something also some of the, a lot of the, our leaders believe in. But the interesting thing is, because I work with a lot of them, and the approach and the way they do things is, in my opinion, effective, because and you're someone who has been AG and in my opinion, who has done this very well, because the reason I say this is because I work with Karthi, and yet a lot of us he brings up and how you were good AG and got along with everybody and were very effective. So the question is, where do how do we strike a balance? Because as a leader, even as a club president, you still have to get things done, but without actually really pleasing and too coming across as too pleasing. How do you do things effectively but still care and have that without doing all that damage?
I think that approach, if I were to just take examples what we have done in our good club in Titiwang over many years, right? Some of us are 2 times presidents around. And people actually ask, why do you do it and then how? I think one word, right? Passion. Rotary should be in your passion when you decide to join he or she. Therefore, and when you are appointed into the leadership of Rotary in your club, be it president or any member of that board, you reflect and you showcase that passion. And second, genuinely. There is such thing called fake passion, right? And many of my Rotarians can probably adhere to that. One, you can have passion when you're in a room with a bunch of people. And the moment you leave out of the room, my God, why was I at that meeting? Why was I debating on that point, right? Have passion genuinely. And then to answer you, Mahad, when you address your fellow colleagues, your fellow Rotarians in your year of service, you will do it because you are passionate. The passion will drive others to follow the same. Therefore, again, Rotary, and we all know it, like what PDG Andre had shared in his history before of Rotary, right? It all started with a passion of a couple of people wanting to do good. Nothing more, nothing less. It has spiraled on 100 years later in the same paradigm. Therefore, when you address your own good club, big or small, doesn't matter. You manage with your club, get them on board your bandwagon because they see the passion in you. And when you are genuine about it, doesn't matter you're running, serving a Rotary club or running a business, the result is the same. You will get that avid fellowship and the job and the scope of work you're doing will get done well.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Can I pose the question to all 3 of you?
Sure.
Yeah, Ash, go ahead.
So usually, I mean, coming from a corporate standpoint, conflicts are always good because they say conflicts in thought leads to diversification of ideas, right?
Yep.
And when people are too quiet, sometimes we feel that we're not getting the best out of everyone. Now, I don't know how many Rotary clubs have managed this well. I just wanted your opinion on that because I'm a firm believer that conflict is good because the more we argue, the more we discuss, the more we have conflicts, the better we become. But some people don't see that.
Very excellent question, Ash, right? Because yes, Ajit and Padma, there are those that believe, but then they're coming from that frame of discourse is important. That's their, they believe that discussions and discourse are very important. So it's important how you label it. And there are those that think that, oh, it's negative, just, push it under the carpet and, just avoid it, and just put your head down. So how do we, address that? Because there's a question from my club member, Rajita, that says, Rotary Club of E-Club, that, you have all these cliques. A lot of clubs have all these cliques and all these groupings. And especially for a new club,
Yep.
Like Rotary E-Club and other satellite clubs, everyone is excited, they're enjoying their company, each other's company. So do we need to have, a conflict management plan? Would that avoid things and have a conflict officer on one hand? And on the other hand, like what Ash said, how do we encourage, how do we fuel good conflicts so that we can, thrive and go to the next level constantly? Maybe
if I can just take a stab at that, right? I'll answer Ashvin and then answer you, Mahad, because they are both interrelated.
Right.
Now, most people everybody is working for someone, and therefore, when you want to get someone who is predominantly quiet to engage in their idea, you've got to create the atmosphere, which is why I bring back the fact is, an argument is not necessarily a bad thing, never. But how you maneuver that argument, how you manage the argument, I'll give you an example, it's a lot better, right? Somebody comes up and says, I want to do this project, but I do not want to follow the current paradigm of Rotary in our club. I want to donate this and I want to donate it from my friends and I want to run it in my way. Of course, then some senior Rotarians in the club might say, no, we have to follow certain guidelines and without this, this cannot happen. That way you build an argument for no rhyme or reason, right? But if you actually hear he or she out, right? And when they wanted to bring up an idea, let the ideas get heard and let everybody debate on it. And I'm a firm believer, and I've done this many a times, not just in our own club, but even in our other clubs that we are doing engagements with. Let everybody have a say. You know, you've heard about the Knights of Round Table, right? Everyone in that table had a say, good or bad, irrespective. Everyone say, then makes that argument or conflict become a discussion, become a directive point of view. And then coming to your point, Mahad, right? If there is an issue that is that big within a club, I believe the senior members, senior Rotarians of the club should be able to gather together and support the junior members in how to handle that problem. Now, in some cases, or sometimes somewhat rare, where it gets out of the hand of the club, then I believe we have in the district itself, we have what we call a district conflict resolution committee and officer, where you can refer to handle matters that are beyond your club bylaws, your club issues. Those resources are available. But I always believe no conflict is big enough that within your family or your own club that cannot be addressed and contained, if not managed properly. That's my view.
Thank you. Bibi Padma, you're nodding. Do you want to add?
I'm in agreement, but what I would like to add to that is I think the question was a little bit specific in terms of cliques, which seems to be a problem maybe in some of the bigger clubs. Now, and this is not the first time I'm hearing something like that. I've heard about this cliques early on. So if it is such a widespread thing, or let's say it is not uncommon, let me put it that way. If it is not uncommon for cliques to exist, now obviously there must be a way to manage this. So first, if you're addressing it to the newer clubs, since this is about the new members and about new clubs, we have to train them on how to avoid the possibility of cliques being formed. So that is a separate session. I don't think we can address it at this point in time. But what I can say for these newer Rotarians or for the newer clubs is to develop some kind of a template that does an evaluation on a regular basis about the motivations of the members, regardless of the size, whether big or small, whether they are new or old, to have some kind of a template, a form which allows individual Rotarians to express their views. And this has to be evaluated very privately or very confidentially, and pick out for the red flags, because that's the important thing, to pick out the red flags and bring it up for discussion amongst members before it blows out of proportion. So that's my addition to whatever is being said. But this thing is a serious matter because it has happened many times, and in some clubs it has been so bad that the clubs have been torn asunder. Now that one needs to be addressed separately. Probably, I think it needs a much wider session to address.
I think it's important as well to separate supportiveness versus cliques. Because some people immediately, I support someone, and then they'll say, oh, that's a clique. But it may just be a good idea that I support, for example, right?
And I just like to add on to that. You see, end of the day, be a supportive asset to your members. I don't believe anyone with 30 years experience can say, I know it all, than a person who just has 1 year in Rotary. In today's world, I just take you guys back the last 1 year. We have had younger members come in, but with the knowledge available on the Rotary web and circle, they have learned far more than some of us took 10, 15 years to even understand what is available. So that gap is breached already. So be the supportive tool to each other in a club. Then the issue of cliques and etc. probably could handle by itself, right? And as opposed to being a problem.
Yeah.
Because I always think seniority and juniorship has been around for decades, right? Eons. Now, it's how you make it function in your environment that actually helps you solve conflicts or misunderstandings within a club.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, there's a very interesting point raised by Amrit Singh that said, very true, Amrit agrees with you, but adds on to say that senior members have to support and provide mentorship to junior members. Now, I don't like this divide between senior, junior, all that, right? But the thing is, another interesting point raised by PAG Pushpa, because she commented on the clicks, right? She says that, you know, that as long as, you know, you disagree without being disagreeable, then it's all good. I just want to quickly invite her. You want to elaborate on that point? It's more on the mannerism, I think that's very important. So PAG Pushpa, you want to add on, elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, please. You see, cliques are actually not, I don't think they are a problem unless they gang up together and they, target one person or one group of people. Like in my club, the Rotary Club of Malawati, okay, we have also, like many other clubs, the buddy system. Okay, the buddy system is inclusive of about 3 or 4 people together. We are actually encouraged to communicate with each other, to look out for each other, you know. So what, are we a clique? We are a clique, but a good clique because we look out for each other and we group together and do things together. So cliques are really not a very bad idea, but I think, you know, you can always discuss without arguing and disagree without being disagreeable. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PAG Pushpa. I'm afraid we're out of time, but I really want to, wrap this up. So one last point I just want to give to Ajit and, PP Padma, you want to say last point to wrap this up?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, again, guys, enjoy Rotary. Let those issues come. Let the issues be some point of just guidance to how to do it better. Life is too short. We can argue all we want, right? But let's just move on with those arguments, work well within your own Rotary clubs, right? And I think we all have each other. There's enough to do to serve the world. Let's do good. Let's come.
Thank you. PP Padma?
Yeah, I'd like to take the cue from what Ashvin said, which is, do not view conflict as totally negative. It's a double-edged sword, which can be used to better the situation. Because if you see the other side of the discussion or argument from the other person's perspective, I think it will result in a win-win situation for everybody within the organization. Thanks, Ashvin.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you, everyone. And like PDG Kiranjit said, agree to disagree and move on, right? Life goes on. Thank you all so much for listening. And thank you, Ajit. Thank you, Padma, for joining me in this discussion. Thank you for your questions, everybody. And input, back to you, Ashvin.
Mahad, Ajit, Padma, I think that was a great discussion that you guys did. And you guys shared very, very, very important points of views, which I think a lot of people, needed to hear at this point in time, because they may have had this in their own clubs, but weren't maybe sure how to navigate the situation. And I think you guys gave them a lot of limelight into how do they take this on and continue to build Rotary. At the end of the day, right, guys, like I told you, every building has rubbles, and I think Ajit, Mahad, and Padma has showed you how do you take that lessons and turn into something positive and continue to build Rotary. Like Ajit said, enjoy Rotary. I like that one statement.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I talked a lot about building. You can build 2 ways. You can build something profound, that means a one-time impact, or you can build something that compounds. Now, I like to bring into the next session of Rotary 101. Now, the next session, ladies and gentlemen, is important because we've all talked about public image and we've heard the branding discussions and the logo. Even PDG Andre brought it up. I believe that we all have the basics down and we all are committed to sticking to the brand guidelines, and I hope we all are. But there's something different that you can do to raise the public image of Rotary. You can essentially sort of give it a steroid jab and put it to a different level. And to talk about a case study, to bring public image to light, I'd like to invite Yasmin from the Rotary Club of Malawati on her talk about small steps can build big strides. Yasmin, over to you.
Hello, everyone. May I share my screen? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yasmin.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I would like to share my screen now.
Raj, can you give her access? Okay, yeah, okay, done.
Okay, hang on. This is a what?
Okay.
It's a whiteboard. Oh, okay. Hang on. To share. That's not my slide. Is that my slide? This will stop other screen sharing. This is not my slide. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, can you see that?
Yes, we
All
can.
right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to share the experience, the story of District Action Group on Environmental Sustainability, or DAGIS for short. Okay, we started back in March, 1st March, but before that, we were deciding between whether to do a Facebook group or a page. Yeah, we saw there are a lot of examples on the Facebook, and deciding it is one of our biggest consideration. So among the considerations, we must know what we want. Yeah, the purpose and specific goals. You do know that the difference between a page and a group is that a page is basically like a website. It's a one-way interaction. You only post announcements, messages one way. Yeah. But we want more than that. We want engagement, we want interaction. Harnessing on the power of connection. This is also an opportunity for us to connect with others as much as people can connect with us. So, you know, the opportunity for others and for us to join, share, and like. Having said that, please like our district Facebook, yeah, because not everybody is on it. Anyway, know how to be the admin. Yeah, one way, many ways, traffic. And another thing is that we've got to be really bold in curating the postings. So no selling, no other Rotary news, except if it's related to environment. So we've got to be really focused on that. Yeah, what you need to know your role, basically. Now learn the behavior of your target audience. Good thing is that because of the pandemic, the borders, the time zones, it's all open. Yeah, your morning could be somebody's night, somebody's morning could be your evening. So it doesn't really matter that much when you post, yeah? But if you want your target audience within your region, within your zone, or within your own country, then you need to know when is the best time to post. Learn the behavior of the algorithm, but it changes every time. But the best is always to know that you need to interact, not to talk to yourself. I'll tell you how. Talk to readers. Do it like very conversational. Do not preach. Do not be condescending in your text. Yeah. So writing is very, very important. And don't be shy to copy others, but never forget to acknowledge your source. You know, I always see people, they read it somewhere and then they just post it as though it comes from them, but it is not. You know, you actually took it from other sources. So share it, or at least give a credit mention. And how else? Yeah, it has to be inclusive. So what we do when we design the Facebook, it's not only restricted or limited to Rotarians or Rotarians for District 3300. That is why you don't see the 3300 very, very obviously there. We want it to make a public one. We want everybody to engage, because the real objective is to get people to know us, you know, before they know who we are, get to know what we do. And the focus has to be clear. In DAGIS, we've got 4 areas of focus. Basically, conservation, river of life, parks, and also tree planting. So, you know, any matters, any news, any sharing, any postings have to be one or the other. And also climate change, because all these affect climate change as well. And the purpose and objectives now. I have a very, very demanding chair, okay, co-chair, Dr. Dilipan. He knows what he wants, and he wants it yesterday. So he wants to grow the group within a month, because we have got a reason for developing this Facebook group. We are having a conference, and we want this to be a way to promote the conference. So he said, can we build it? Can we do it within a month and we get 1,000? I said, yeah, I mean, like, we can try. So that's what we did. And the rules for members must be clear. No promotions, no spamming, be respectful and be courteous. So we did have some arguments, yeah, or words that are unkind. So as the admin, you must know how to play your role. Fully engage the two C's, and communication and content. Yeah. So first 2 weeks, what we did between Dr. Dilipan and I, we posted not less than 30 postings a day. Yeah. And you can do it various ways. Example, and the moment you see what happened is that our mobile phones today, they are very
Yasmin, you're frozen.
Yasmin, I think your connection might be frozen. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, am I back?
You're back.
Okay. All right. So yeah. Okay. Anyway, so to ensure rich engagement and impression, so we do that. Yeah. And finally, we.
I think it's going to rain or the weather is bad. That's why.
Is it happening again? Is it happening again?
It happened for a while. You're back now.
maybe turn off your video. Maybe
Okay.
Will that help?
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll do
Because
that.
your background jungle. So.
Yeah. I'll do that. I'll turn off my video. After all, it's a jungle. Anyway. Okay. So what reach, engagement and impression. Okay, this is a thing that I would like to share with everyone here. Like when you talk about things, don't worry how many likes you have. Yeah, it doesn't matter if only you get 1 like, for example. What matters is the reach. Like it passes, this particular posting would pass to basically everyone who has a wall, and the message will go. So whether they like it, they click the button or not, they will have seen it, you know. So that's very, very important. And do not have to like your own postings. Don't post and like your own posting. I always yeah, is this bad again? I really don't know how to. Okay, let me just change the connection to my data plan. This is Unify, by the way.
No, Yasmin, it's fine.
Okay, all right. So please do not like your own posting. Okay, instead please share it with others. And impressions are like, for example, if somebody were to share, go to that person, say thank you, like. That would create a more viral effect. Okay. Okay. Thus far, we have gathered 200 members within 24. We launched it on the 1st of March 2021. So we gathered 200 members within 24 hours of launching. We get all our Duggies members, the committee members, they're all super supportive. You know, they invite all their friends. 500 in 6 days, 1,000 in 25 days. And today we have got more than 2,300 members, and we are in August. The group's community has grown beyond Malaysia and Rotary, and invitations to hear more about what we do. Members were also founders of other groups. So we've got, founders from other groups, not only from Malaysia. As far as Bahrain, for example, members now are active contributors, and the group, between Dr. Dilipan and me, we only now post whenever we have the time, whenever we have really juicy stuff to share. We don't have to really do it like one day 20 or 30 anymore. And many have come forward to inquire about partnership. But what's next? You know, you have a Facebook that is fully working like this. We've got people. So what do we do? And also, do you think Facebook group is enough? Okay, let's talk about our climate conference, which was why we had our Facebook in the first place. Now, when we our Facebook, we also mobilized our WhatsApp group. I'm sure all of you are on so many platforms, so many groups. Do not complain that you have 50 or 60 groups. Those are assets. Use them wisely. Yeah, and Telegram. I'm on Telegram. I don't know who actually invited me, and the next day I knew that I was in that group already. So what I do now is like I put a security function on my face on my phone that you know, like I will know who invite me before I actually decide whether I want to join them or not. So what happened is that the webinar series, that we have, has garnered, I can't read because there's, sorry, how do I get this thing? Okay, the webinar series has gathered such number, participation of such number with viewership of such number is accumulated, because we did our webinar series from 29th of May until 29th of June. So that was a period of quite a long period, because we've got 9 series. And that's the statistics at Global Climate Conference. We've got 2,200 participants, because at that time we can only receive 1,000. So we told people to come in early, but throughout the half day, because it was only half a day, the numbers was very, very healthy. We were very happy, and people wake up as early as 3-4 a.m. just to be with us. How great was that? And yeah, and Rotary Eco Warriors, I hope if you're not yet a member, please go to our website. I clip it as an announcement. Sign up, because currently it was launched on 4th of July, but currently we already have 362 signups, and all because of the power of social media. Yeah. Okay, and I would like to share some slides again, like somebody before this, the topic before this, when you talk about a club, it is not just a club. You're one of the clubs. So like every member in Dages, you move as Dages, and it's not like an individual. So these are some of the groups that I'm in on WhatsApp. I'm sure some of you are in that group. So what I do, I diligently promote events, webinar there, and we've got so many, and there are also friends there, like Adil is from Ampara, Sri Lanka, and Dr. Mega is from India. So they have Nagjoti is also another great friend that keeps on supporting our events. And on Telegram, on this group, Rotarians around the world, there are 2,039 members. And look, there's an event from Singapore, So whatever events, you just plug it in there, and there'll be members to pick it up and want to attend, and you just keep on reminding them, because you don't know the time, you see what time they are in. So we just say, hello guys, if your free time permits, do join us. It's starting in 30 minutes, it's starting in 15 minutes, but you've got to do it consistently. Okay, choose groups. Please choose the right groups. Okay, with the exception of Community Bandar Sunway, please ignore that. Please choose the groups that you want to be seen, visibility. So for the district action group on the environment, I choose environment, sustainability, Rotarians, and Rotary clubs. The list is long, not less than 30 other groups. Environmental sustainability in Malaysia, Eco Warriors, so many. So whenever you share all those things with these groups, there will be people who will pick it up and contact you. Trust me. Okay, this is again, I don't think the person is actually talking to me, but so much because of what Dages has been doing. So because it so happened that I'm the secretary as well, that I'm administering the group. So thus he wrote to me. So this is one of the examples, like how they see us on Dages. And for your information, Wern is not a friend, neither is he following the group. But after the conversation, he's already a member. We're going to have a meeting with them soon, next week, in fact. And there's another one. Okay, again, he was just reaching out to me because I happen to be promoting it on Dages. So really, Dages has made an impact because of, we mobilize the entire social media platforms that we have. So do not complain if you're on so many groups, assets, use them well. Okay, I have this tendency to talk really, really fast when I'm excited. So yeah, I think that's all I can share. If you've got any questions at all, yes, please throw them at me.
Yes.
And I think Dr. Dilepan is also here.
Well, welcome to questions. And I think Yasmin, you're frozen again, but no worries, I think you can still hear us. I just want to tell everyone, as a head of marketing myself, I think Yasmin knows more about social media than half my staff does. So I'm reconsidering their employment. because she just gave you literally a marketing 101 course on engagement reach. These are things that you have to take certifications to learn. But when you have Rotary, I guess you learn them for free on the Saturday.
Yeah,
any
you learn
questions?
it on the go.
Exactly. All this, I mean, it's always available, right? That's the beauty of Rotary. Any questions for Yasmin before we move into the last session for today? I think Yasmin, a lot of people loved it. I think maybe you can share your slides as well with everyone, and we will share the recording as well.
Yeah, I will share the slides. I just want to share that, you know, that there are many clubs here. If you do not have any Facebook page or Facebook group, you know, like they say with plants, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Well, the best time to start a Facebook group or Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn was yesterday. And the next best time is today. So yeah, go ahead, go to your phone, like us first. Please like us first. Number one, like Rotary Malaysia District 3300 page, and then go to Dages, like our group. We have to support each other. There are more than 80 plus clubs. If we support each other, imagine the network. Just imagine the network.
I love that. Correct. Guys, I mean, it starts from, like I said, right? Small steps build big strides. What Douglas did was exemplary. And I think it's not hard. And that's why we got Yasmin to speak about this. It's not hard for any one of us to replicate that. And it's a simple step, right? The thought process that she had was, versus a page, let me start a group. Let's get out on all the social medias available. And then we'll build reach. And it comes into our theme of today of building Rotary as a brand, building our members, building our image, and building a better future. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last session of today, you know, we've talked a lot on the whole day about certain topics that have been spoken about before, PI, membership, and we took a different approach on it. The one thing I think we haven't heard from is an actual new club, someone who's actually built it from scratch and succeeded. That means, you know, they had to go through the problems, they had to reach out to any resource they could, and they're still here today. Now, Rotary clubs who are essentially legacies, you know, some of you have been here 30, 40 years, the clubs have been stable, may not understand the struggles that a new Rotary club would face, right? Coming from not so new, but somewhat new club myself, I understand there are certain struggles you may go through, certain people you may need to count on, and certain challenges you will have. Now, for the last session of the day, Rotary 101 Build, I'd like to call upon members from the Rotary Club of Penang Straits. Ladies and gentlemen, a great club. All the members are great, very friendly. I've met a bunch of them, and I think their sharing would be a very good summarization to what we spoke about today. So I'd like to invite Benjamin and Nicholas from the Rotary Club of Penang Straits. Benjamin, Nicholas, I will have Raj pin you guys on that. I believe Leonard is supposed to be here, but unfortunately he's on a site visit, unforeseen circumstances. But Benjamin and Nicholas, you guys can take it away when you're ready.
All right.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ashvin.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Hi.
Can
okay, thank you. I'm Ben from Rotary Club of Penang Street. Building new isn't starting from scratch. The topic of today, why is it suitable for us to speak about this topic? A little background from me. How do I engage Rotary? How do I know Rotary? I'm actually a ex-interactor since I'm 14 from St. Denis School, sponsored by Rotary Club Kelantan. In fact, I'm interactor of DGE, Dr. Kristan, and PAG Puspa back then when they're in Rotary Club Kelantan. And then I move on to Rotary Club to charter a new club, Rotary Club of Kelana Jaya. Also, I met PP Arthur Yong is in the group today, right? When I started Rotary Club in Kelana Jaya, he is my district Rotary chair back then, before we move on to Rotary. Because I think Nicholas also interactor. Because,
Hey guys, everybody, wonderful meeting everyone today. So yeah, just like Ben, myself, I'm also from an interact background. So basically I've joined got to know about Rotary family since I was in my Form 6 days. I'm much later than Ben, but I was in the Penang Free School Interact Club. I was the president then. Then after that, moved on to becoming a member of the Rotary Club of Penang, which is sponsored by Rotary Club of Penang. And I was a Rotractor for about 9 years. And after that, moved on to a different challenge, take up a different challenge, and which is forming the Rotary Club of Penang Strait. So Ben, you can maybe share a little bit more like how we actually got to know or how we were approached to start up this club.
I think it'd be interesting, Ben and Nicholas, to talk about the journey that that lead to Penang Straits coming up.
Yeah. Now we'll begin now. Actually, when we as a Rotractor, we are really good friends. Me and Nicholas, really good friend, and the current president, General President Leonard. And then when I'm in a Rotary, actually PP Eki from Rotary Club of Tanjung Bunga that time, he is the membership that committee of the district. He actually approached me asking that he wanted to charter a bilingual club, Rotary Club in Penang. So he asked me whether I could introduce some ex-Rotractor to him to form this club. And then the first one I think of is Charter President Leonard, because we are really good friends. And I introduced Leonard to him, and they have some discussion and everything before Leonard decided to take up this challenge. And he asked me whether you want to join us also. Then the things happened, and now we are here. We are celebrating the third anniversary, 16th of September. And then Nicholas, how do you decide to join Rotary?
So when after my Rotary years, I venture into my own like career, focusing on my career and all this thing. So I actually slowed down a little bit on my Rotary journey until my charter president, which is Leonard, came and approached me and told me that, hey, here's a new opportunity that we are going to be chartering a bilingual club, which is a Mandarin and an English speaking club. And it will be great to have a bunch of former Rotractors joining together, and together we can build something new in Penang. And I was like, okay, not sure whether this is the right time. This is the common question that happens to many younger Rotarians, like, okay, this is time whether I should be focusing on my career or my family or all this thing. But I realized that there's never a perfect time or the most accurate time for us to join Rotary. We just join as we go on. So if you want to wait for the perfect time, it will never happen. So this is my own opinion.
I may ask you, because I love the story of Nicholas, Ben, and how Leonard was your friend. The only club I ever started with my friends was a drinking club. But I was wondering, I was just wondering, what is the motivation that you guys as young guys, taking on a Rotary club is something that's, it's a duty, right? There's a lot of processes that you need to do, due diligence. What made you guys be okay with that, or why were you motivated by it? Rotractor, Intractor. How did you guys decide that this is okay to join?
Okay, I believe that it's the bonding and the friendship between us. Actually, to be honest, we don't see ourselves in Rotary at this age, at this young. Let us, to be frank, to be honest, everything. Rotary need money. It's not easy for us to join the older club. Some club, they need a lot of their fees, everything. So there's also a challenge. I see this as a challenge for Rotary as well, to get young members, young Rotractors to continue this journey. So if there's an opportunity for us, like our club fees is not really that high, and the bonding between us, like me and Nicholas and Leonard, we are like, there's the bonding that make us came together. Okay, decide, brother, come lah, you do this, I'll do this.
Yeah, because when we during our road track years, we actually organized quite a number of quite significant projects and all these things. So we thought that maybe this is an opportunity for us to go further, to actually engage more of the community, in Malaysia or in international, and actually try to actually step up and do more in this world.
If there was something different that you think Rotary could do. So for example, my club is pretty young as well. What we decided to do was we will not do formalities, because we felt people coming from work, all the young generations coming from work, don't want more formalities coming to a Rotary meeting. Right? That's personal for my club, but
yes.
What did you guys do that you found worked to attract younger members?
For us, when we invite our guests and friends over to our meeting, we keep it as casual as possible with the of course certain formalities in place, but we keep it as casual as possible and make it like very fun. And we joke around, and also every time when we have friends coming over, they realize that, hey, this is a fun bunch. That is the first thought that comes into their mind, instead of, okay, here's a group of people that are going to do some serious stuff.
Is that what you guys wanted to portray also?
Yes.
The fun,
yes.
And also, I believe that it is how to say, is a thing that we commonly hoping for. Like, let's say there are some people that they see formality as important. I don't think they'll like our club.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, informal. Like say you the only club that you're thinking is drinking club. And what we learned throughout from Interact, Road Track, and Rotary is we build that bonding and the thing that, okay, let's say Nicholas is a person that I actually can click with, so we can be in the same club. The whole journey is, Interact is like a 100-meter run. You do with Usain Bolt, you just rush. Then probably Road Track is I don't know,
400 meter.
Yeah, for 400 meter, Michael Johnson. Then Rotary is a marathon. So during our Michael Johnson term, okay, I identify that Leonard is my type, Nicholas is my type. So we are building this together. So actually, we are a newborn baby in Rotary, but actually we're not that new. We're actually quite familiar with each other's style and pattern, so that we can work together for the rest of our Rotary life,
Okay, I just want to ask two questions before this, because I think you guys exemplify what the Rotary succession plan is supposed to be, right? Every club sponsors it, hoping it will happen, but half the time it doesn't happen. But it happened with you guys, so I'm glad I have you first. But I think, what is the top challenge that you face forming the Rotary Club?
I think for our club, Rotary Club Penang Strait, the top challenge is the starting off of the club, to get it moving, to get members to really like commit and all these things. Because yes, maybe I think maybe like we have like 40% of them are from road track years. And another maybe 60% are friends who are very completely new about Rotary and all these things. So the challenge is to sync these two groups together, to let everyone to have the same understanding on like what we are trying to do here. We're not trying to do something very big, but we're going to try taking slow steps, and then moving forward, in that direction. Yeah, that's for what I felt in this. Maybe Ben has another.
Ben, what do you think was the biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge, I think Nicholas sum up quite good thing, because I always think that a challenge for a club is to bring everyone together.
Right.
Get louder.
That's really not the easy task.
I don't know.
And because majority us are from Rotary, we know that we have learned the system in Rotary that rotation is a really good thing.
Of course.
When to be the leader, when to be a follower. So the important part is that we need to step down to be a follower, to let the new people to lead. We don't show that we are taiko here, or we know Rotary better. Like, of course, Charter President Leonard is a past Rotractor. Our IPP is a past Rotractor. The new incoming president is a totally new Rotarian. So we are not taking up we are pushing the responsibility to him first lah.
Yeah.
So we step down to be a follower. We are not showing that we are the taiko here.
But he may bring new ideas. Well.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. A fresh point of view, towards like the club, or what new projects that we can do and all
But
that.
that actually leads me to my last and final question that I really want to hear from you guys. How are you guys still handling, striving, and progressing in the virtual environment, looking at COVID and every club locked down? There's a lot of people who complain Rotary cannot function without fellowships, Rotary cannot function without, we don't meet each other face to face, but you guys are still doing okay. What's your thoughts on that? Last one.
Ben, you want to go first?
I think we are doing quite good because we are quite young. We are actually enjoying this virtual platform, everything, so that it's actually easier for us younger generation to cope up with this pandemic thing and with all this Zoom thing. And actually, we are currently now using a platform called
Gathers.
What was it again?
Gathers.
Yeah, Gathers. You actually can come to our meeting. We invite you guys. You all can come and have a look. It's
that's
more
the idea. I mean, to everyone is here. I think that's a new platform. We will learn that.
Yeah. Gathers.
That platform is actually very interesting because it's like a virtual meetup place, and it's not just like face to face. You have little avatars moving around, and then you can go to certain breakout rooms to do certain activities, like fun activities, not necessarily like a serious activity. So that itself, we actually felt the bonding, in terms of like members, playing some mini games with each other and all this thing. Yeah, so somehow that virtual shift to virtual platforms did not really affect us that much lah.
Good. Any questions for them, ladies and gentlemen, before we close out the session for today? Any question? As an e-club, I think there's some comments. As an e-club, we are more relaxed nature. We still do fellowships and have very active WhatsApp group. I mean, yes, I presume you guys do too as well, right?
Yeah. We have we are very active on our WhatsApp and WhatsApp group and all, so that, and also our like Facebooks, and sometimes we discuss things informally in our WhatsApp groups and all this thing lah.
All right. Nicholas, Ben, thank you very much for joining us today. I think this discourse was good, and I loved having a discussion with you guys. In fact, if you have another Gathers meeting, please do invite me. I'd love to join as well. It sounds very
definitely.
Sure.
And we would like to actually thank our sponsoring clubs and all this thing, and also we have the district support was wonderful, helping us, and our what's this RC Typing Lake was helping us, guiding us. We have PAG Shanker, Arwin Bernard, all of them are really, really great support in helping us
as well.
Yeah, that was important, very important for us.
And I think Nicholas and Ben, if you would agree, that's why we chose in training team to title this session "Building New Doesn't Mean Building from Scratch," because you always have the support of Rotarians. I mean, no matter what you do, right?
Yes.
Rotarians are always going to give you 110% support.
True.
But
That's
thank you
very
very
important.
much.
Thank
Thank you very much, Nicholas. Thank
Thank
you
you.
back for your sharings. And just before, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for joining us for Rotary 101 with the team build. I'd like to invite District Trainer Karthi to just say his last remarks, close up the session, and give his last thoughts on everything that happened. Karthi, just some last thoughts.
Thanks, Ash. Well, immediately after I say I'm going to invite Governor. I hope she's still around. But I think it was an interesting 4 hours, right? We started off with Icebreaker, which our intention was basically to give you a snapshot of what Rotary was, and I think Ash did it pretty well.
Did Karthi freeze?
Yeah, he did.
He froze. Frozen already.
For a moment, I thought it was my Wi-Fi.
That's accident.
Yeah. It's raining everywhere, right?
What he meant to say was, Ash did a fantastic job.
Actually, he looks like he's kissing up to you.
He wouldn't say that personally, so I'm mimicking his words. Right? Ladies and gentlemen,
He
the
might
guy
be
named
listening
Ash
to you, Ash.
did a good job.
Yeah, he's kissing up to Ash.
He was going to say that the Malayalis always do well.
That's true as well.
Mahad is a Malayali now.
Honorary Malayali.
Honorary Malayali. Thank you very much.
So, is DG still here? Dato Bindi still here?
Yes, I'm still here.
Dato Bindi, maybe you can give your
sure.
closing speech first before, Gati refreezes his symbol of a connection, although he stays in PJ.
Today I told myself I must stay back for the whole session to refresh my information as well, and I found it very, very interesting. And, your selection of topics and speakers was very, very motivating, and it was right on the dot on the subject matter. So I only hope that all those who have participated today can take back some information, some knowledge, put it into practice, and I think you're good to go as a Rotarian and create a legend in Rotary by yourself. Yeah. So thanks, well done to the training team. You guys did a great job as usual. And if Karthi is back, then we can allow him to say a few words.
For some reason my laptop is frozen, but I'm trying to use Rajita's now for a while. So anyway, yeah, thank you very much, guys. I thought Raj sessions and bringing in both Raman Putra and Manjung was excellent. Conflicts that Mahad brought in, both Padma and Ajit, was interesting because we had views of two past AGs, two past presidents who gave us good insight. I really liked Ben and Nicholas' session, right? It was really interesting to hear how a club is just 3 years old, how it came about. So really, in essence, I hope you guys enjoyed this session. It is intended to make you guys understand, at least for the newer members, a snapshot of what Rotary is, the resources available, and how you can really, really, like Ajit says, enjoy Rotary. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you all very much. With that, we will close the Rotary 101 with the team build. Thank you everyone for joining us. I think we maintained almost 100 people and above. At the peak, 171 people. Thank you very much, guys.